Hey fellow questers, make sure to catch up on the entire Dragon Quest X saga from beginning to end with this convenient playlist located in this card or the description down below. Welcome to Awesome Video Game Memories, where we talk about awesome memories about video games. I'm Ryan, and the game we're going to talk about today is Dragon Quest X Version 5, Thorn Lady and the God of Destruction. So Dragon Quest X Version 5 is the fifth part of the Dragon Quest X saga and the fourth expansion originally released in the fall of 2019. When I first started playing Dragon Quest X in January of 2020, version 5.1 was being released. However, there was a slight delay between 5.1 and 5.2 because of a certain virus that began with a C. So that gave me time to play the entire game from the beginning, and I was there when 5.2 was new in the summer of 2020, and when the rest of the version 5 parts were coming out in 2020 to 2021. I also heard that version 5 was originally going to be the final part of Dragon Quest X, as Square Enix only wanted to support the game for 10 years, and I started playing in 2020 just when the game was about 8 years old after its 2012 release. Fortunately, Square Enix announced that there will be a continuation after version 5, making them stick to their 10-year plan, and who knows if they'll make more parts since the game is still profitable. Alright guys, now it's time to talk about Dragon Quest X version 5 spoilers, as we do here on Awesome Video Game Memories, so just be prepared, because this is going to be a doozy, man. So we begin 5.0, and after saving the world and all of time from Cyronos, we're still wondering who the mysterious man on Gamilgo Island was, saying that he's ready to head to Astoltia. But before that, we're invited to the glittering windmill tower on the Pucalipo/Poppin continent in order to go on a magical balloon ride by Princess Anne Lucia herself. Oh my princess, you want to go on a balloon ride with me? Oh, I'm totally not blushing right now like a dork because you just want to spend time with little old me. And one of the first things you do notice about version 5 is the characters have Japanese voiceovers.
それと、前からあなたとのんびり過ごしてみたかったから。
Well, I do have some voiceovers of my own, which I did use in my past Dragon Quest X reviews.
Oh, you're already here! Sorry to keep you waiting. Thanks for coming on such short notice. I really appreciate it. I dreamed of getting this balloon. It was a limited time offer, so I made a reservation for the two of us to go on a ride in the sky. I've always wanted to spend some time alone with you and was wondering if we could do it together after everything we've been through. Now let's get on the balloon. Wow, amazing! Look, the windmill tower is so far away.
It's such a magnificent view! Spending time with the princess!
You know, we've had so many adventures together. Every hardship that we faced, I was able to overcome them since you were always by my side.
Because it's the Dragon Quest way.
I'm always constantly thinking about you and us. You've become more than just a special person to me, than the relationship between a brave hero and ally. I really mean that from the heart. I'm just so excited thinking about everything. I wonder if you feel the same way about me. I want to know. Oh, how naughty. You should have seen the look on your face. I was only kidding the entire time about everything I said. That look was so priceless.
Oh, Aunt Lucia, you are such a kidder.
Well, playtime is over, so have a nice trip and see you next fall!
What?
Huh?
Why, princess? Why?
Ryan, are you all right? I'm glad I was just in time. Hey, you imposter! Show me your true identity! Looks like the real one has shown up, so it's time to end this little charade. A plush doll?
Whee! Pudding pop! Hey, old friends! It's been a while! Did you miss your old pal Pyuju? I sure put on an entertaining show, don't you think, pals?
You evil clown bastard, you're back!
You're the one who set up that incident in Gotland a while back. Pyuju.
Well, I'm gonna punch those glasses off your smug clown face!
It's been a pleasure to meet you, the legendary brave princess. It's an honor to be recognized by someone of your important stature. Not every day I get to make the acquaintance of the legendary hero. So let's have some fun, shall we? Unfortunately, your usefulness has run out. We simply don't need you anymore. Our purpose was the special baggage you left before you even got on the balloon. Now we have all the pieces we need for our plan.
Two of you? What do you mean?
What? I'm seeing double! 12 Pyujus!
Prepare yourselves, kiddos! This is where all the scary fun time really begins. Yep! Hoi! The door to hell will open and disaster is a-coming! Lots of blood will flow! Where it stops, nobody knows! Hey! Fun time is over, kiddos! Now it's time to say bye-bye! Yep! Hey!
Wait! Come back!
Yeah! Yahoo!
By the way, Ryan, did that fake version of me say anything strange to you? Like, completely out of character for me? Did I really say that? Then I guess there was a really big misunderstanding. So, what he said, yeah, definitely not happening. Well, now then, let's not worry about that now. I'm so sorry. What matters now is stopping that evil clown. Actually, I heard you were in danger from Sage Lucia. So I immediately rushed here and was glad I made it in time.
Sorry, after I was kicked off the balloon, I kinda lost my lunch and I hope it didn't fall on a poor Pucalipo/Poppet or something.
Lucia is waiting for us down below. So let's head on back.
Hey, my favorite hot ogre mage. So we talk about the thing we had before we got onto the balloon. Oh hey, after that pretty long fall, I don't have any more food in my stomach. Lucia says that our bag seems to be okay for now, but however, the seeds of war that we got after defeating Cyronos are gone. So Lucinda talks about the Seeds of War back when Pyuju was in Gartland during our battle with Sage Marine. Pyuju actually caused the incident back in Gartland, so the Seeds of War are what Pyuju needs to open the gates of hell. And Spindle, the ogre soldier from Gartland, arrives and tells us that he found Pyuju's location. He went to an uninhabited part of the Weena Islands and his other half went to Gerd Strait. So we split up into two teams to hunt down both of the Pyujus. And Lucinda talks about the incident at Gamilgo Island over 500 years ago. Oh hey, we kinda know that Gamilgo guy. I mean, we can take the train to go back in time and say hi to him. Lucinda says that Gamilgo was her ancestor and she feels in her blood that a crisis is coming soon. After Lucinda and Lucia and Spindle investigate Gerd Strait and the Weena Islands, we investigate Gamilgo Island with Pyuju at the supposed Gate of Hell. He's happy he's finally able to fulfill someone's wishes and we sneak up behind him. Aha! And then we see multiple Pyujus. Okay, I really need to get my eyes checked. And they welcome us to the gate of the demon world. Ah no, like I said before, I'm totally not going back to high school. The clouds gather as Pyuju throws the Seeds of War to open the gate. He says that once upon a time the evil god of war was trapped in the demon world through the River of Light and says that they should offer something for the ritual. Hey, don't look at me, man. And Pyuju and his clones surround us in a horribly dizzying way. And we engage him in battle. And after we defeat Pyuju, the Seeds of War begin to flash and he says that the demon army from Baldista will appear. He holds up one of his balls and the seeds begin to emit power to the door to the demon world. Pyuju and his clones begin to fade away as the power from the seeds begins to overflow the door to the demon world, breaking it down. Guys, I think we better hide. After the door crumbles, mist begins to emit from the cave that was behind the door and we see a female figure riding on a demonic horse. She says that Astoltia will be conquered as she looks at us. And she attacks us and knocks us back, but we get up. But then she unleashes a more powerful attack that knocks us out, or maybe for good.
Astoltia is now ours for the taking.
after the battle, we wake up in the rain with a demon with red hair looking over us saying that he'll save our life, then he carries us off. And then we wake up in a small house and notice that we look like a demon! So we pick up a red jewel that fell into the water, and these are known as the Abyss Jewels, which replaces the Rura Stones and the Athenial Cubes as our means of traveling around the demon world. Just like the Athenial Cubes, we find a large Abyss Gate and can register a location to warp to. And so we open the door and see that we're in the demon world. Whoa. This looks cool. Scary, but cool. Can I go home now? Outside we see the long red-haired demon who rescued us and says that the blood contract has worked.
Finally awake. Been waiting for a while. Huh. Hold it. Is there something wrong with your face? I'd say you look like some kind of fool if you ask me, friend. Well now, friend, from the looks of it, I think the blood pact went over better than I had ever expected. The name's Yushka, and as you can see, I'm what you might call a demon traveler. And welcome to the demon world. It's a place where we, the demon tribe, live out our lives and prosper.
He introduces himself as Yushka, a demon traveler, and welcomes us to the demon world. Yushka explains that from Astoltia, the River of Light was struck and there are 3 countries in the demon world who yield great power. So this is basically the last arc of Yu Yu Hakusho. And there's Baldista, a country of iron, blood, and violence. And then there's the oldest magic city in the demon world, Zekli's Magic Country, and a chaotic emerging country, Farazard. And the current area that we're in was destroyed by the Baldista army and was on their way to attack Astoltia. Yushka found us dying after the mysterious demon female attacked us, and we were injured so bad that we couldn't be cured by a normal recovery spell. Yushka had to use a blood contract to save our life, and with Yushka's blood our life was saved, but it turned us into a demon. Well, you know, maybe I can still score big on Tinder. I mean, chicks dig the horns, right? Yushka says that we can use the Abyss Jewel to travel to and from the demon world as much as we want. Because we're in a blood contract with Yushka, we become a servant and have to do what he says. Oh man, I have a boss now? I mean, I already have a full-time job! After we tell Yushka our name, he says it's unfitting for a servant. We head to the Great Court Gate, which is on the north part of Gerhenna-Geno, our current location. As we explore Gerhenna-Geno, we see a lot of the nice but spooky demon world imagery, and we see the monsters, especially slimes with red eyes, indicating that they're the hard versions. I watch you while you sleep! Okay. We arrive at the Great Court Gate, which is inhabited by monsters, and Yushka tells us that the gate behind us leads to Demon Mountain, where Lord Masen lives. Yushka explains that even though there are demon rulers who govern each country in the demon world, the seat of the main demon world ruler has been vacant for some time since the death of the predecessor. Lord Masen is the only one who has the authority to select the main ruler of the demon world, and they need to find a suitable king in order to combat the great darkness coming ahead. Many demons are outside the gate waiting to meet Lord Masen in order to become the ruler. So wait, this is pretty much an intense presidential election. I mean, we just survived one not too long ago. And Yushka explains to the monsters outside the gate that he's a messenger for the king of Farazard and the monsters back off. Yushka wants to make his lord the great demon king, and in order to achieve that, they must open the closed gate to the demon mountain. The words on the gate read, "When conflicting people with heavenly luck gather together, the road to the great demon king is opened." The past great demon kings have always passed through the gate and have overcome the competition with the past rulers. The gate hasn't been open for a long time since there hasn't been anyone who's been qualified to be the great demon king for many, many years. Well, you can totally elect me, Ryan/Yushka, 20XX. Let's make the demon world great. No, let's not say that quote, ever. And Yushka explains that the current rivals of the king of Farazard are Asval, the demon lord of Zekli's magic kingdom, and Valeria, the demon lord of Baldista who attacked us from the beginning. For some reason they aren't interested in becoming the great demon king and aren't at the gate, so Yushka is pretty confident that his lord has a chance of winning. However, he still needs to drag Valeria and Asval to the gate in order to open it. Sadly, Yushka explains that once we become a demon we can never go back to normal. Well, I just have to get used to the horn since I work from home anyways. And since I never go out, I don't really have to worry too much, I think. And Yushka explains that Lord Masen can actually turn me back to normal if we help him out. Well, I guess I might not be able to keep these cool horns anyways. I decided to go to Baldista first. After traveling the rocky mountain path to Baldista, we arrive at the Baldista fortress to confront Valeria, who attacked us and left us for dead. Yushka says not only is Valeria powerful, she is also great at commanding and judging the battlefield, so you probably don't want to mess with her. Well, I should know, because I nearly died! Valeria returns with her servants as her army stands ready to greet her. Ma'am, yes ma'am! And suddenly a rogue demon attempts to attack Valeria. Yes, get revenge for me. But Valeria easily deflects it like the boss she is. The rogue demon reminds her what happened at the Kingdom of Jamur, and she doesn't remember or apparently care. He reveals himself to be Dar Jamur, the Prince of Jamur, whose army was destroyed by Valeria, and vows to kill her in revenge. But Valeria cuts him down with relative ease. And Valeria remarks that his kingdom was weak, and that's why it's gone.
You scoundrel! You couldn't even estimate the strength between you and I, which is why your country was destroyed.
Cold. So we try to enter the castle, but we're stopped by the guards. Yushka explains that he's a messenger for the king of Farazard and wants an audience with Valeria. However, the guards are skeptical because of the attack that just happened, and nobody is allowed in the castle without permission. We're turned away and Yushka tries to figure out how to get permission into the castle. We encounter Yale, one of Valeria's servants, who was with her earlier, arguing with another demon about the magic stones at the Brannock Quarry, which are occupied by bandits. Yale is angry that he wanted progress on the magic stones before they decide to reinvade Astoltia. The demon warns Yale that the bandits in the quarry are super strong, and Yushka, using his charm, offers that we will stop the bandits in exchange for an audience with Valeria. In Brannock Quarry, Yale joins us and we get assaulted by the bandits who make fun of Yale, wondering how a wimp like him got into Valeria's army. While Yale goes after the bandits, we deal with their huge machine. After we defeat the machine, the bandits beg for mercy and offer to work for the country of Baldista, but Valeria arrives and wipes them all out mercilessly. And Valeria says that the bandits attacked the wagon heading to her castle and killed her subordinates, so she got her revenge and goes back to the castle. At the castle, Yale is happy that we got the magic stones and grants us an audience with Valeria. Yale explains that Valeria saved his life in the past and she saved him from being killed by an enemy soldier, so he was happy to serve her. We meet with Valeria and Yushka gives her a letter from the king of Farazard. After reading the letter, Valeria turns down the offer to come to the Great Court Gate because her top priority is to reinvade Astoltia and has no interest in becoming the Great Demon Lord. As Yushka tries to convince her again, she gives us an intense anime stare which startles us. Yikes! Valeria is angry and draws her weapon at us. Yushka, don't push your luck! Valeria leaves and says she'll leave the castle to both Yale and her other servant Veltro. As we make our exit, Veltro awaits us and tells us to go to the Baldia mountain range where we might catch something interesting.
Ah, got the cold shoulder, huh? Oh, turn that frown upside down. You'll ruin your face that way. Head to the Moonlight Valley in the Baldia Mountains. You might just find something of interest there.
Wait a minute. Why are you bothering to help us?
Oh, I'm just talking to myself. That's all you heard. Just someone talking to themselves in the castle. Okay?
So we arrive at the Moonlight House at the Baldia mountain range and the keeper says that it's an orphanage. And Valeria arrives and the children seem to like her. The keeper says that Valeria is the one who founded the orphanage and asks us about the big war between the demon world and Astoltia 1,000 years ago. 1,000 years ago, under the rule of the great demon king Nerodus from version 4, there was a war and Nerodus was defeated. I think me and Alvin had something to do with that. Alvin! There was confusion in the demon world without a great ruler, and a civil war broke out. Valeria was still young and saw her family killed in front of her. She resolved to become a great warrior, and then after that, Gora became the champion of the demons. I think we kinda killed him too. And Valeria vowed not to let her people suffer the way she did, and when she enters the orphanage, she gives us another cold stare. Yushka makes a joke about Valeria becoming the next demon ruler, but freezes us in rage. I told you not to push your luck, Yushka! Luckily, she leaves and spares our lives after seeing her weakness. The kids make fun of Yushka for apparently flirting, but still says Yushka is too weak to be her type. Yushka asks the kids on how to get on Valeria's good side, and says that girls like things like fruit pies and jewels and swords. After talking with the kids, we see a mysterious figure overlooking the Midnight House. We collect some flowers and head back to one of the kids, and one of them gives us a note meant for Valeria saying that she should get along with us. Aw, that's so adorable. The kids wrap the letter along with the flowers for us to give to Valeria, and then we go back to the castle and Valeria says she still hasn't changed her mind. Yushka gives Valeria the flowers and the note from the children, but she's still unconvinced, and one of the guards arrives and has an urgent report saying a large amount of magic beetles are heading towards the Moonlight House at the Baldia mountain range, so Valeria summons her forces there and also goes herself. A dark aura surrounds the Moonlight House as Valeria arrives and Veltro tries to stop her, and Valeria runs inside and rescues one of the kids, and Yale arrives and asks if Valeria is okay and offers a recovery medicine. However, before Valeria takes the medicine, Yale slaps it out of her hands, saying that he knew the contents of the medicine were replaced with poison. Yale blames us for trying to poison Valeria, but she seems suspicious of Yale and not us because she never told anyone the relationship between the orphanage and her. Then she gives Yale a cold stare and he runs away. However, you and Yushka confront Yale as we give Valeria time to treat the child. After that, Yale transforms and reveals his true form. So after we defeat Yale, Valeria approaches him with her sword and says that he saw the Demon King is coming and noticed the orphans made Valeria forget the war. He accuses the children of trying to corrupt Valeria and making her weak, so he murdered all the children. Valeria is angry and stabs Yale. He gives off a happy and twisted expression knowing that he died in Valeria's arms. Best death ever! After burying all the children, Valeria explains how she took care of Yale when he was young and says the gravestones are the ones of her friends who fought with her. When she was young, she was picked up by mercenaries and was trained to become a warrior. And Valeria's dream was to build a house where everyone could live in peace when the war was over, but sadly she was the only one who survived. And Yushka gives Valeria the children's flowers and letter and she sets them on the children's graves and finally agrees to go to the Grand Court Gate with us. Veltro confesses he didn't want to invade Astoltia in the first place and was hoping Valeria would be the great demon lord. He thanks us and takes off. Our next goal is Zekli's Magic City, and as we arrive at the castle, we're immediately stopped at the door as usual. Yushka tries to use his charm to enter but fails at first, but says to the guards that not letting him in would be an insult to the king of Farazard, which freaks them out. So that's how Yushka gets into nightclubs. And the gate opens and we see Empress Elgadora angry that Asval is not around to attend the Wara Wara tea party and orders a search. So we go around town asking for his whereabouts. We encounter a little demon girl named Rinberry, who is the head of the Veristor family, and her escort. She acts really snobbish and says we're lower class demons. Well, excuse me, Rinberry. However, Rinberry takes a liking to Yushka and says that he would look great dressed up for her party for the Veristor family, which results in us getting an invitation.
Let's go find some influential people around town who might have some information and ask around. Well, looks like we're getting some info right off the bat.
Who are you? This is Miss Rinberry of the Veristor family. Don't you dare get any closer.
Oh, if you're that important, then you must have some good information then. Hey, miss, you got a minute?
Hey! What is it with you people? How dare you approach me with a shabby appearance like that? I can't stand lowly demons who don't know what they're doing. Can you please get out of my sight, now?
Nice to meet you, Miss Rinberry. I'm sorry to be so blunt, but do you know where Lord Asval is?
Oh, my God, I can't believe what you're asking me. Oh my, look at you. You're better looking up close. It's a shame you're dressed so shabbily. I'm sure you'll be even more handsome in proper attire.
What?
Yes, you're invited to my party at the Versitor House tonight to celebrate the unveiling of our prized artifacts. Servant, give this man an invitation. I will personally find you a suitable outfit and hire you as my personal servant. If you become my favourite, you're guaranteed a good career. I'll give you an inspiring look.
Miss Rinberry, it's time to get ready for the party.
That's right. I haven't decided on the colour of the flowers yet. We have to hurry. And you should be flattered that I've taken a fancy to you. I'll see you at the party.
Sorry, I can't make the party, but I may be able to get some information from exploring the castle. You'll have to infiltrate the party instead. I'll meet you back at the castle after we're finished, so here's the invitation. Word of advice, try not to offend that selfish young lady.
I think Yushka's having a lot better luck here in Zekli's. Yushka hands over the invitation to us as he wants to infiltrate the castle, so we're left to crash the party. At the party, Rinberry is angry that we came instead of Yushka. But hey, can Yushka do the smooth ogre?
Who are you? Why is a miserable thing like you invading my party? He's the guy who's standing next to the hot guy? I don't remember him at all. Where's the handsome guy? I didn't invite you to be my servant. I invited him. This is terrible. You can't turn me down. How dare you turn me down? If I ever see you again, I swear to God, I'll make you regret not coming to see me. Hey, you! I didn't give you that invitation. I want it back! For those who weren't properly invited to this party, no admission. Throw this bomb out right now.
Wait a minute. He's with me. He must have gotten lost here or something.
Oh, he was your servant. I'm sure you can totally get him replaced with someone better.
I'm sorry about this. My mistake. You scared me back there. Now, come with me.
Oh, hey, Cyril! I'm trying to decide which painting to buy for my next connection, and I need your opinion. Hey, wait up!
Okay, I'll be right there. Just give me a minute. My name is Cyril, and I actually wanted to talk to you, so I went out of my way. Since my hands are tied at the moment, let's meet at my antique shop, the Six Continents, north of the Commoner's Quarter. I'll be on my way as soon as I'm done, so I'll talk to you there. Well then, see you later at the Six Continents.
However, Rinberry says that Yushka refusing her invitation is unforgivable and rips up the invitation. She's so mad that she orders the guards to throw us out. However, a demon in a brown jacket vouches for us and Rinberry tells him to put us on a leash. His name is apparently Cyril and seems to be close with Rinberry. Cyril tells us to meet him at his shop in town. We enter Cyril's shop and it looks magnificent with a map of Astoltia in the center. After asking our name, Cyril comments that he knows that we came from Astoltia based on our appearance, and he says that he admires Astoltia because the people there can live freely without any differences in status. He opened his shop in order to collect artifacts from Astoltia and admires our key emblems we got back in version 1. His pet dragon Fluff needs Cyril's attention, and he says that he rescued Fluff from a demon that was attacking the lake that Fluff and other dragons lived in. Cyril requests that we defeat the demon at Lake Belvine so Fluff can go back to his family. We meet up with Yushka outside and he decides to stay in town as we go to Lake Belvine to help Cyril. We go to Lake Belvine and battle the demon beast as Cyril keeps Fluff safe. After we defeat the beast, Fluff is reunited with his family of dragons. Aw, they're reunited again. And Cyril says he longs to travel the world freely and that going to Astoltia would make his dream come true. Because he met us, he finally makes the decision to leave for Astoltia. Hey, you can crash on my pad, man. I got my town, I got all the amenities, you can hang out with me, my friend. However, the guards from Zekli's arrive and bow towards Cyril, saying that Empress Elgadora is waiting for him. Could he be? And Cyril says he's looking forward to the day that we can hang out in Astoltia and... Oh wait man, you're leaving right now? I mean, I was gonna order some Astoltia deep dish, with some Weena Island fries and fish and coke and stuff like that, man. So we arrive back at Zekli's and talk to Yushka about Cyril in the shop, making that our next destination. At the shop, Yushka breaks the door down and we check out the giant map of Astoltia in the center, which is rearranged and now has some shapes on it. After solving the map puzzle, it reveals a secret passageway to the castle. As we make our way through the passageway, we see a collection of items that Cyril has collected and see him in a different outfit. Being startled by our presence, we pick up the compass that Cyril wanted to take to Astoltia and Yushka calls him by his real name, Asval. Plot twist! So Yushka says he's known Asval for a long time as a traveling jeweler and knows about his love for Astoltia. Yushka also says that he was the one who gave Asval the compass. Yushka offers Asval a chance to run away from Zekli's, but everyone gets spotted by a guard, so we follow Asval as we make our escape from the guards. So we meet up with Asval at the secret exit for the royal family that was used to escape the castle. Once we get outside, we're confronted by Empress Elgadora and the guards.
I didn't realize there was a spell in place to make the jewel in my wand glow when that secret passageway was opened. Very interesting. To think that you could escape from your mother is a very far-fetched fantasy. Don't you think, Asval, my son? I know you are planning on taking the compass, and we're going to take the most recently opened road to Astoltia.
Ugh. Looks like we're in quite a troublesome pinch here. You think?
You're Yushka! You have a lot of nerve coming back here after I've declared that you were to be banned from entering this kingdom. Asval is of the royal blood, which belongs to the noble house of Zeklis. In the end, he will become the great demon king who will take rule of this country and rule over the entire demon world. This is a completely different world than the one you mongrels live in. There is no way you can understand. There is no use spouting nonsense about traveling to Astoltia. No more wild fantasies.
How did you find out about all this, Mother?
I know you've always been obsessed with this compass. He gave it to you once, from what I can recall. So you know. Your friend Yushka left the country suddenly that day is because I banished him. He's a bad influence on you.
No way! Don't tell me that letter went to...
My son, you were foolish in thinking that you could go with that mongrel. So I decided to crush that letter. I made sure to remove that irritating bad influence on you.
Looks like that misunderstanding was her fault. I had a feeling that was going to be the case anyway.
What's the use of going to Astoltia anymore with a man from who knows where? Not quite a reliable source, I'm afraid to say. However, I'm sure you won't have a desire to go anymore after knowing all of this. It was all pointless dreaming from the very start. But yet, I see you still want to indulge in these silly dreams and aren't fully prepared to become the great demon king. It is a shame, my son. However, you spoiled brat. Even a mother's patience begins to run out when she's absolutely furious.
No, stop!
You can't escape from your mother, and you will soon learn that you only exist to become heir to the ancient house of Zeklis. Your silly dreams and ambitions end right here and now, before you lose sight of what your true purpose is, my son.
Hey, wait, we can still put out that fire, man!
Ah! How dare you! How dare you! Ah!
Asval, wait!
If only you could put in that effort into taking over other countries. The kingdom of Zeklis could conquer the entire demon world in no time at all. You have no idea what you're talking about. And you still don't understand that you can't go against anything I say.
Please, stop!
Hey, don't worry, Asval. We can use the Abyss Jewel to crash up my pad.
Such perfect timing. Now, let's use this monster to get rid of those who stand in our way. Now, Asval, let's tear them to pieces.
No way. Is he under some kind of spell? Let's deal with this thing first. Then we can get to Asval later.
Oh no. After we defeat the familiar, it sinks to the ground and Empress Elgadora says that Asval is the heir to the Zeklis royal family and has no freedom. Hey Empress, if Asval wants to become the greatest traveler in the world, who are you to stop him? Asval can be whatever he wants to be. Empress Elgadora forces us to leave and disappears. We talk to Asval and he's convinced that he'll join us to become the next Demon King and break free from his mother so he can travel to Estoltia. Asval just wants to be a free spirit, man! Our next goal is to finally head to Farazard. So we go to the desert kingdom of Farazard to the Demon World Bazaar with Yushka, and he's finally happy to report on the success of Baldista and Zeklis. Citizens at the bazaar are shocked because the prices on even medicinal herbs are high and supply is low. I gotta pay that much for a herb? Yushka talks to the female demon Gilgamat, who was a former clerk at the bazaar, and she says that various supplies were traded from the Dinga trading post, which is northeast of the Jalim Baja Desert, and monsters were attacking the caravans. Yushka resolves to fix things in the bazaar as we rest at the inn. At the inn, Yushka says that Farazard is the most emerging country of the three major powers of the demon world and is not like the pedigree of Zeklis or the violent nature of Baldista. The king of Farazard vowed to protect the people and guarantee their livelihood, but there are rogues who did not sign a contract with the king and are hiding on the streets. Yushka says that he'll go to the castle first thing in the morning as we try to solve the problems at the bazaar. In the morning, we talk to Gilgamat and she hopes that we can get to be her customer sometime. After the caravan leaves, we see a knife on the ground with a note saying that someone is waiting for us in the back street hideout and there's no way we can escape. Oh no. So we go to the back street hideout and encounter Shish Kebab, a big pig monster and his gang who have been terrorizing the caravans. Shish Kebab insults the king of Farazard and vows to destroy the country and become the new king. However, Yushka arrives and we battle it out with Shish Kebab and his gang. After we defeat him, his men run away, but Yushka stops one of them and says he doesn't like to resort to violence. He lets the henchmen go and Shish Kebab attacks Yushka again. But Yushka beats him and he tells Shish Kebab that with his strength he can become the kamikaze commander of Farazard. And suddenly Najin, one of the king's commanders, is outside with the Farazard army and Shish Kebab vanishes.
The bandits are still nearby. Make sure to take them out quickly.
Yes.
You guys aren't members of the bandits, are you? From the looks of it, I'd say no.
Does a dignified thief really exist?
Well then, since you put it in that way, all of those involved in this matter should appear at Farazard Castle and explain the entire story to us.
Oh, come on. Even if the bandits got away, you gotta give me a little credit for fending them off, right?
Well, if you're so sure of yourselves, the main gate of Farazard Castle is in the central square. If you speak to Houtman, one of the guards, he should let you in.
Even better than a metal slime. That dude is Najin, one of the guards of the Demon King of Farazard. How about that? We finally got an invitation to Farazard Castle. Let's finally meet the Demon King. I'm sure we'll have better luck now.
At Farazard Castle, we go to the throne room, which is empty, and Najin bows to King Yushka. What? Yushka was the king of Farazard all along? So Yushka says he kept his identity a secret in order to avoid the smaller demons from attacking him, and while Yushka was gone, the bizarre incident happened. And thanks to us getting rid of Shish Kebab and his group, we're given a free room in the castle. Alright, this pad's got it all. Off to the pool! And Najin leads us to our new room and wants to talk with us. He says that the blood contract we signed with Yushka was a forbidden spell in the demon world, and it was miraculous that it works since it only has a very small chance of working. A servant enters the room and says the Demon King has disappeared, and Najin goes to a meeting of public affairs. So we go to Zard Tower and see Yushka at the top. He talks to us how he was born from a family of jewelers, and the caravan was his home, saying that jewels are a symbol of wealth and power. He's concerned that a civil war between the nations will cause ruin for the demon world, and wants to build a utopia in a way that no past Demon King has ever tried. Yushka decides that he'll become the great Demon King, and we plan to leave for Demon Mountain in the morning. We go back to the castle to the throne room with Yushka in his king outfit with Najin. They're in an argument because Najin doesn't want Yushka to become the great Demon King, regardless of them being childhood friends, and isn't happy what happened in Baldista and Zekles because it could have ended in a dispute between the nations. And from here we get access to the Monma Tower, which is a huge arena where you get to fight a ton of monsters under a time limit to get a special coat of arms accessory. So Yushka is dressed up as he's ready to meet Lord Masen past the Great Court Gate at Gerhena Geno. Najin explains that there will be trials for each of the candidates, and then Yushka leaps into action, jumping from the balcony of the castle. And Najin asks us to keep an eye on Yushka. We arrive at the Great Court Gate along with the demons who want to become the Great Demon King. We greet Valeria and Asval who are waiting for us, and we finally open the door to Demon Mountain. Valeria pretty much stops the rest of the demons from climbing the stairs like the badass she is. And suddenly we see Shish Kebab appear along with Veltro and more Baldista knights. A small demon from earlier peeps out and enters the gate as well. We arrive at the site of trials as the Baldista soldiers are hiding, but we proceed on with the trial anyways.
Hey, I've been watching you pretty closely. That was quite the fight you had back there. There's still a long way to go, so let's get a move on to the next point.
Spider Yushka, doing all the things a Spider Yushka can.
I thought I got most of you guys. I didn't realize how many of you were still lying around.
Oh hey, don't mind me. I'm just trying to give you a nice splitting headache, that's all. Not like we've really known each other long. Regardless, I hope you enjoy this little present we've prepared for you. I'm sorry we got off to a rocky start. Rock on, Demon Lord Yushka. Lord Valeria!
I didn't ask for your help to test my strength as the great demon lord. Why did you ignore my orders and follow me here?
Well, we were all just feeling really worried about you.
If you don't believe in my power, just stay there where you are. I'm going to slay you, just like I did those rocks.
So sorry, Your Highness. We're leaving now.
Yushka thanks Valeria, but she responds not to mess with her, kills two of her own soldiers, and walks off. And the little monster from earlier pops out from behind the rock and says that he can proceed in the trial. We arrive in an area where Shish Kebab appears and looks like he was thrown right in front of us. Asval appears and warns us to get away from Shish Kebab. Shish Kebab gets infused with a dark power, and it's revealed that Empress Elgadora is controlling him. Asval says unless Shish Kebab's anger disappears, the curse will deteriorate his mind and body until he dies. Shish Kebab attacks Asval thinking he's Yushka, and Yushka taunts Shish Kebab into battle. After defeating Shish Kebab, Yushka offers him a place to stay if he stops being the king of the bandits. Shish Kebab still tries to attack Yushka under Empress Elgadora's influence and claims that he'll always be looked down upon and there's no place for him anymore. He also says that Yushka has everything and he doesn't, and then falls off the cliff in a super sad moment. However, Yushka rescues him at the last minute because he doesn't want him to throw away his life and his strength can contribute to the kingdom of Farazard. Yushka makes Shish Kebab the kamikaze commander of the Farazard army, which will give him meaning and a place to live. With Yushka's words, Empress Elgadora's curse is lifted. And both Yushka and Shish Kebab fall, but Asval uses his magic to rescue them. Shish Kebab gives Yushka a big hug for giving him a second chance. And salute the kamikaze captain, Shish Kebab! Yushka asks Asval to come with them, but Asval says they're still enemies competing for the title of the Great Demon King. A small demon from earlier arrives and heads towards the next trial. So we climb up Demon Mountain and see Valeria and Asval attacking the small demon, who reveals that he's a traveling merchant named Satenten who wants to become the next Great Demon King. And Satenten offers the survivors a place to camp, but Valeria claims it's a trap. Yushka accepts the offer. And over the bonfire, Yushka realizes that this is the first time all three of the demon rulers sat down together. Yushka wishes he can trade with Baldista and Zekles and wants something more than profits. He says his master taught him important lessons and was a traveler from Astoltia who taught Yushka about the development of Astoltia. Those lessons were cooperation, which is a term the demon world doesn't have. Yushka wishes that everyone would cooperate and there's no need for violence. Valeria still doesn't buy it, but Yushka still thanks her for opening the gate to Astoltia. She says the aftermath of her invasion forced her army to withdraw. Yushka offers Asval a chance to go to Astoltia with him if he becomes the Great Demon King, but Asval vows to win. We wake up and head to the next part of the trial. After getting to the next part, we see Satenten waiting for us as he transforms into an even bigger monster named Temon Zugito, who is the gatekeeper of Demon Mountain. Plot twist again! So Valeria and Asval try to attack him, but their attacks prove to be ineffective, and now we have to fight two of Temon Zugito. And after we defeat Temon Zugito, he turns back to Satenten and grants us passage to meet Lord Masen as a reward. We're in a misty area and all of the demon lords vanish as we're left alone and the ground begins to shake. We see a huge Sanguini king sitting on a throne. And the Sanguini king asks us if this place is really a dream and welcomes us to Jiden Rose Garden, which is the paradise of the demon world, and also to the Sanguini kingdom. He introduces himself as King Memorian, or if this game was localized, he would be King Sanguinian. He asks us to locate his wife, Antoinette, who is missing, so we have to search the Jiden Rose Garden for her as a test of measuring our hearts. King Memorian shows us the answers that Valeria and the others gave him, and Valeria wasn't exactly optimistic towards him, saying that the strong eat the weak. Well, I guess the weak tastes like chicken according to Valeria. Asval, on the other hand, is talking with the monsters and says that they need to give up and accept everything and not to be afraid of death as he kills all the monsters. That's kind of morbid, dude. And then he laughs maniacally as he cries? And Yushka gets along with all the monsters and says that the people are suffering due to the bad decisions of the king, and he vows to change things. King Memorian says let's find out who the Great Demon King is together, and then turns into another being who looks like Demon Mr. Popo. And then the being reveals himself to be Lord Masen! He invites us into the castle and we see all the other demon rulers there. Lord Masen says that he knows why everyone is there to become the Great Demon King because there is a big disaster coming, and each of the rulers give Lord Masen why they should become the ruler. So I'll give everyone Dragon Quest X stimulus reviews for everyone who votes for Ryan/Yushka 2020X. So even if you can't translate it, you should still play it. I think that's a good slogan for our campaign, Yushka. So after much arguing, Yushka says that Astoltia can help everyone prepare for the upcoming disaster, and then he gets into a bit of an argument with Valeria. Lord Masen stops them and says that they shall all partake in the ritual to select the Great Demon King. He asks who will be the best choice for the Great Demon King, and a large scary hand comes out. The hand goes over everyone, but it doesn't choose anyone as it retreats. Lord Masen says nobody is really suitable to become the Great Demon King. He says Valeria hates the world so much that she's trying to drag everyone into hell. And Asval had given up on saving himself and others, and Yushka thinks he's the only one for the job, making him look down on people, and Lord Masen says he's pretty arrogant. Well, I review games? However, Lord Masen says there is one person suitable to become the king, and that's us. Hey, vote for me! I will localize Dragon Quest X! Send in your mail-in ballots! Lord Masen says since we rescued Queen Antoinette, we are the best person for the job. Valeria leaves feeling angry and Asval also takes leave. Yushka still tries to plead his case and wants us to fight him to prove our worth. After our battle with Yushka, he's still convinced that he deserves to be the Great Demon King and claims that the next time we meet, we can become enemies. Lord Masen says if we want to return back to normal, we have to use the power of the Great Demon Ancestors, which is the source of the Great Darkness that makes the demon world whole. We enter a chamber with a strange statue inside, and Lord Masen says he knows we may have endless light in ourselves, so no matter how bad the darkness is, the light will never go out. Spoken like a true Dragon Quest trope. So we put our hand out in order to make contact with the darkness, and we had to fight a hooded boss on a horse. The hooded figure notices that we were born over 5,000 years ago, and we're not in our original body. And he says, "Can a person who even killed God be called a person?" Deep, man. And he also says, "Does the soul remain for one who's died twice?" And after this, he engages us in a battle for our soul. So after we defeat the hooded figure, we're warped back and the statue begins to crumble, revealing a bright light that turns itself into a human girl with thorns on her arms. Ah, so I assume she is the Thorn Lady from the title. I wonder who the god of destruction is, though.
Why did the statue break?
It was your light that has awakened me from my slumber.
Oh.
Become who you once were, your true self.
What kind of magical sorcery is this? Who are you?
My name is Arusha, and that's all I know.
A person born from the crystals of magic, I see. Let's head back to my throne and hear your story, Arusha. I'm very intrigued by all of this.
I'm normal again! And this young lady calls herself Arusha, but that's all she knows about herself. And Lord Masen says our power was the light that conquered the darkness, and a great demonic power will soon be attacking the demon world. And if we don't stop it, Astoltia will be destroyed along with the demon world. Lord Masen still has no idea who Arusha is and says he will protect her in Jiden Rose Garden. He is also worried about the Demon Kings and wonders what they will do next, thus ending version 5.0. So we begin 5.1 walking outside Jiden Rose Garden with Irusha looking over 2 gravestones as she admires the scenery and asks us if the light is still guiding us. Lord Masen appears and says that Irusha still can't remember anything other than her own name. Since Irusha has the power to remove demonic influences, Lord Masen requests that we travel with her to get rid of the demonic power in certain magical mounts across the demon world. The mounts are located in Jalim Baha Desert, Gerhena Geno, and the Belvine Forest. Our first stop is the Jalim Baha Desert. As Irusha removes the demonic influence, we see a vision of dark hands coming above us, but it's only a dream that knocked us out. Irusha was able to turn the magic mount back into a beautiful rock structure, Irusha's home and garden. The next stop is Gerhena Geno, and we see Valeria and Veltro at the magic mount. Veltro says that they're near where the city of Gora vanished. Gora, huh? It can't be. Valeria isn't exactly too happy to see us. Hey, can't say hi to your old pal, the future demon world ruler? You know, I'm gonna count those ballots pretty soon. Valeria looks at Irusha and doesn't recognize her, but decides to leave to prepare the next invasion of Astoltia. Just remember folks, a vote for Valeria is a vote for the end of the world. Just remember that when you turn in your ballots. Irusha clears the demonic influence from the mound and we move up to the next one. We go for the final mound at Belvine Forest and see 2 demons from Zekles who threaten us, but the bigger, more jolly one tells us to leave. Irusha once again removes the demonic influence from the mound and it turns back into a nice rock structure for your backyard. So the jolly fellow from Zekles introduces himself as Ojaros, and he is the younger brother of Empress Elgadora and the Grand Duke of Zekles. Ojaros is happy that we're able to clear the mound and leaves with the guard. Now we go back to Lord Masen. However, a mysterious monster appears as we leave, as it was spying on us. Once we get back to Lord Masen, he detects a presence in the room and the monster from earlier appears. The monster summons a lump mage hologram who is Nuburo from the country of Gora. Lord Masen says that Gora is the home of the now deceased Madasagora. What? Madasagora again? The city of Gora was destroyed by a big eruption a long time ago, but Nuburo says that there were survivors who still live in the city. However, Gora is on the brink of collapse and requests that we and Irusha come to Gora to help their people because of her powers. Irusha volunteers without hesitation and we go to the city of Gora. We arrive at the Gora gate and Irusha uses her powers to open the door. Just remember, if you forget your house keys, Irusha can open that door for you. However, we get trapped in a vision once again with the hands and it weakens Irusha a bit. The door is open and Irusha says that impending doom is still far into the future. As we enter the door, Valeria is looking at us from above. We enter the castle of Gora with the survivors and they are glad to see us, and we also meet Nuburo. He tells us that this was Madasagoro's old castle and the survivors use it as a shelter. And then a figure stomps on top of the stairs, he has 4 arms and spray paints the walls. Is this a demon tagger?
Well done, Shrine Maiden! I welcome you with my art, a true masterpiece! Oh, I'm sorry. Too fascinated with my art to even speak, eh? I can't blame you. It's just that good!
Hey, you're being rude in front of the Shrine Maiden. How dare you?
Hey, don't spray graffiti on the wall that Lord Madasagora left behind. It's rude to his legacy.
It's not graffiti, it's art! How rude of you guys! Who do you think I am? Don't question me or my art ever again! Humph! I'm the great unprecedented artist who revolutionizes art in the demon world! The great Peperogora! Now at your service! What? What's going on? Hey, let go! You're ruining my artistic hairstyle, man! You'll regret this! You'll truly see how wonderful my art is someday!
So this is Peperogora, the grandson of Madasagora who tagged his grandpa's wall and is apparently a problem child. Hey now, graffiti is a form of expression, man. Irusha mentions the seal of the Great Demon King, but Nuburo doesn't know where it is. We go to Irusha to our designated room as Nuburo searches for clues. As we're resting, Irusha remembers being scared, and since she was trapped in the darkness for so long, and she is grateful that we're by her side even if she can't remember anything. The next day we go to the throne room and Peperogora volunteers to help us out, but Nuburo isn't having it. Peperogora says he knows the place better than anyone in Gora and leaves after having an argument with Nuburo, and that all he knows is to cause mischief, but he's an artist. And Nuburo says that Peperogora lost his parents and became his caretaker on Matasagor's behalf. Peperogora wanted to be a great artist like his grandfather Matasagora, but he's gone now. We totally have nothing to do with that. Nuburo says that we will need to go to the lower depths of Gora where the magical beasts are in order to stop them and save Gora and find out the cause of the eruption that nearly destroyed the city. So we go take a special coffin vehicle that Matasagora left behind, which is basically a Gora roller coaster.
I've been waiting for you guys. Ready to ride?
Oh, hey, it's you, Peperogora. What are you doing here?
I've decided to tag along so I can see Grandpappy Matasagora's work of art. You guys cool? Grandpappy had a masterpiece he was working on before all of Gora was destroyed. I need to see it for myself. That work is called the Phantom Masterpiece, which was big among Grandpappy's fans. It's my birthright as his grandson to finally see it. I want to see what all of the demon world is talking about, since it's such a big piece of art. Alright then, are you ready to ride my art aficionados? The Shrine Maiden and her escort are pretty dope. Man, you both can be my minions who love good art, especially mine. Alright, my auteurs, let's head to Magical Garden Montessance. Did Grandpappy really take this old coffin there? This is my first time going from another road. Hey! Come on, Shrine Maiden and escort! No more lollygagging! Get on and let's-a go!
Peperogora, please don't call me Shrine Maiden and Escort. My name is Irusha, and this is Ryan. I don't even know if I'm a proper Shrine Maiden or not. I can't really remember anything.
You're a Shrine Maiden and can't remember anything? Man, that sounds like a complete and utter drag, Missy. Ha! Such a way of life lacks true artistry. You should be more expressive, like your pal Peperogora. Eh? What's so funny? You think I'm some kind of idiot? Here we go! I'm not sure if my body is ready. Wait a minute! I think my heart is about to sink! Ah!
Whoa, I'm in Magic Mountain, dudes! Or better yet, Matasagora Mountain! Once we get off, Peperogora comments that his old man was crazy for actually using these things to travel, but Irusha had fun and wants to ride again. Hey Irusha, we don't exactly have a fast pass. After going through the crazy dungeon in the magical garden of Matasens, we arrive at the art chamber where Matasagora's painting is, but notice there's a massive hole in the ceiling. Peperogora searches frantically for the Phantom Masterpiece, but to no avail. Irusha sees a sketch on the wall and Peperogora notices that the Phantom Masterpiece was trying to contain monsters in a living canvas called the Feast of Life. Yurusha goes to the production diary and reads that Matasagora had trouble containing the demon dragon, and that the spray paint cans that Peperogora is holding were able to contain the dragon. The Great Demon King's seal was to seal away the dragon inside the painting after Matasagora considered it a failure at first. Peperogora is saddened and feels like a failure no matter what he draws, and feels like if he saw the Phantom Masterpiece, he would finally create his greatest work. With Yurusha's encouragement, we go off and find the Phantom Masterpiece at the art graveyard. At the art graveyard, we find the Phantom Masterpiece, but there's nothing drawn on it. Suddenly, a portal appears in the painting and the demon dragon comes out. Yurusha notices there's only one seal on his eyes and convinces Peperogora to draw the other seal, but he chickens out and we battle it out with the demon dragon.
Oh, this is my grandpappy's Phantom Masterpiece that everyone has been raving about? Weird. There's no painting in there. Could it be that this one is different?
Huh? What is that? Something's coming out!
Ah! What is that thing? A dragon came out of the painting!
Did Matasagora contain this dragon in the painting? It's probably the cause of the increase of demonic energy.
Matasagora! How dare you seal me away?
There's a seal on his eye, but only on one of them. I don't see a seal on his other eye. Maybe if you put a seal on his other eye, you can actually seal him away again. I think it's worth a try if you're up for it.
What? I have to do it? Are you crazy? No way, man! It's too much! I'm nowhere near as good as my grandpappy!
Ryan! We gotta help Pepero fight the monster! Is this the seal of the Great Demon King? It looks like that monster swallowed it whole in his belly.
The one who sealed me was... Matasagora!
Whoa! Hey! Don't come over here, bruh! You messed with the dude. My ultimate pride and joy. Now take an L to the eyes, man!
Oh, this pigment is... It's you, Matasagora!
Did I seal him? Heh. You couldn't handle my mad artistic skills and talent. I made this look easy. Whoa, what the? Yeah.
Pepero, watch out!
I've completed Grandpappy's work. I will not fail this time. I've now made it into a true masterpiece of art. Yeah!
Pepero, hang on!
Lucia! That was amazing! The dragon's completely gone now! That looked kinda painful though. Are you okay?
I'm okay. This is nothing. More importantly, it's now a work of art. Pepero's masterpiece. I really like this picture a lot.
Eh? It's only natural that my artistic talent has exploded, and this is the natural result. I knew I was the true artist all along. Yes! Let's take this picture home to everyone at Gora. I'm sure they will be so impressed that they'll be crying tears of joy. Let's get back to the castle right away. Now everyone will see my art.
Pepero seems to be in better spirits. I'm glad. Now, let's head back to the palace now before it gets late.
After we defeat the demon dragon and send him back, we head back to Gora. We go back to Gora Palace and see that the demon dragon painting is now hung above the wall, and everybody is impressed that Peperogora finished it. However, Nuboro gives Peperogora a bit of crap for it, but he agrees with Irusha that it's a good painting. Peperogora vows to become the best artist in the demon world, and because we saved the city of Gora, we were able to keep the seal of the demon king. As we leave Gora, Irusha still hasn't regained any of her memories, and then we encounter the Baldista army with Valeria waiting for us. Valeria says that Irusha can help save Baldista from the upcoming danger and forces her to come. However, one of the guards uses a smoke bomb to get Irusha to safety, and it's Yushka and Najin. Plot twist! And Yushka, being the absolute smart aleck he is, says that Valeria's army is pretty easy to infiltrate and takes Irusha back to Farazard as they escape. Angry, Valeria sends her troops to Farazard. Veltro isn't too happy and is wondering if he'll survive the war. We head to Farazard and see the Baldista army outside with Valeria declaring to get Irusha back from Yushka. As Valeria's army advances, a messenger from Lord Masen arrives saying that we need to get to Farazard another way or else we'll face Valeria's army and that we should take the Necrodia route through the destroyed destroyed kingdom of Necrodia, we're given a scroll of ghosts to unlock the gate to Necrodia. We arrive in Necrodia, which looks a lot like the Nightmare Before Christmas. Or should we say, a Nightmare Before Dragon Quest. This is Dragon Quest, this is Dragon Quest. We see a little girl surrounded by zombies and we stand up to fight against them as Najin comes to save the day. Najin tries to help the little girl but she runs away, so Najin offers a safer place for us. We head inside a chamber where we see this eerie glowing statue and the little girl introduces herself as Lantel, who was looking for herbs and found her way to Necrodia. Najin says that Necrodia was once a prosperous mining colony that was destroyed by Baldista, and the statue is of General Zobris who destroyed Necrodia. And the sword of Astron is stuck in Zobris' body and turns Zobris into an iron ingot. Najin's goal is to get the sword of Astron after 200 years so Farazard has a chance of winning the war. He pulls out the sword and is ready to finally eliminate Zobris but is stopped by Lantel. Another plot twist! The little girl's a traitor! And Lantel goes into the statue and reveals that she is Zobris! Plot twist forever! So Zobris created Lantel out of her left hand that was cut off before she was turned into an iron ingot. Zobris also reveals that she took out Najin's eye in their last battle and was stabbed by Yushka when he was younger with the sword of Astron. After she says that Najin was the former prince of Necrodia, she declares she wants us to suffer and we battle Zobris. I gotta admit, Zobris got the jugs. After we defeat Zobris, we see a vision of young Yushka and Najin.
Yushka, why have you come back here? The sword of Astron is here to save the demon world, and it needs a wielder. I wish you left the prince that destroyed your country behind. I've lost everything. I no longer have anything worth living for.
Take my hand and live your life for me. I'm in the process of building a new country, and I'm definitely going to need your help. Come with me, Najin.
Yes, you said those words, didn't you, Yushka? The words that brought me back from the depths of despair and saved my life. Forever, we are friends and allies.
We go to the Blood Tower and meet up with Najin, and he reveals a secret elevator that was used as a trade route to avoid thieves, and we can use this as a secret way to get into Farazard. We get back into Farazard with Yushka on his throne with Irusha there as well. Najin presents the sword of Astron to Yushka and wonders why Yushka can't cooperate with us right now, even though Yushka preached about cooperation from his teacher in Astoltia. Yushka doesn't want to work with us anymore because we're no longer his servant, but Najin reminds Yushka that their cooperation brought them to the Great Court Gate, and if they all work together, we would be unstoppable. Shish Kebab arrives and says that the Baldista army is closing in. However, Ojaros arrives and says that the army of Zeklis is surprise attacking the kingdom of Baldista, while Valeria's army is headed towards Farazard. Genius! Yushka says he kidnapped Irusha to lure Valeria out and leave her kingdom unguarded. Yushka, taking the Astron sword, vows to protect the demon world in his own way. After that, we witness the battle between Zeklis and Farazard versus Baldista. As everyone is fighting, we see Empress Elgadora and Asval watching from above. We battle it out with the Baldista army while Yushka and Valeria are battling it out one-on-one. Then suddenly Empress Elgadora begins to control Asval and turns him into an S-Star monster who's colored like Frieza from Dragon Ball Z. Asval fires beams into the battlefield, causing intense chaos, turning against Farazard as well. Ah! And Empress Elgadora turns Asval back and declares victory over Farazard and Baldista. Once the smoke clears, we see Najin in a weakened state protecting Yushka and then dies as he tells Yushka to fulfill his dream to save the demon world.
Are you okay, Yushka?
Najin! Hey now, just hold on. I'm gonna find a way to get your wounds healed. Just hang on.
Don't worry. You're the Demon King Farazard. You have to keep on going. Do what you have to do. Your dream to save the demon world.
The dream, but I can't achieve it unless I'm with you. What's the point of doing any of this if you aren't here?
Yushka. On the day of my departure, covered in ashes, on the morning sunrise, when I came to Farazard, you spoke to me. You said, I will build an ideal world and save the demon world in a way that no demon king has ever been able to do so before. I enjoyed hearing the things you had to say, wildest dreams that you always talked about. So please, never give up on that dream you shared with me, in your own way.
Hold on, Najin! Don't leave me! Just hang in there!
I'm your second in command, if you need anything. I'll always be at your side, Yushka.
You were a great man, Najin. As Yushka picks up Najin's eye patch, we go back to Farazard. We go back to Farazard and talk to Irusha, but Yushka hasn't come out of his room ever since the battle ended. As Shish Kebab cries, the messenger from Lord Masen arrives and tells us that the Wand of Miara that Zekles has once put the demon world in crisis, so we must destroy it. Shish Kebab's men suggest that we use a secret passage in the Belvine Forest to enter the castle of Zekles, but we actually used it at Asval's old shop when he was Cyril. Irusha says she'll look after Yushka as we head to Zekles.
You're the one who broke into the basement, you lowly jeweler's servant. You will rue the day you stood up to me, not once, but twice.
Sister, it seems the front door has been breached.
Elgadora! For the crime of insulting Baldista, I will have you atone with your head.
It's you who will perish, savage beast. The crystal of profound wisdom of Zekles. Savor it with your own body.
Please, Mother. Not again.
no, did that big lug just beat Valeria like some kind of rag doll? All troops, retreat! Like, scram and move it!
Now, do you understand, Asval? If you can do as your mother says, you can bring the whole world to its knees. Nobody shall ever stand against our might. You will always be my little doll, forever a doll of straw to play with.
Don't listen to that old hag's ramblings, Asval! Hang in there. I'm gonna set you free for good.
He broke my control with that sword? You've got a lot of nerve taking away my doll, Yushka. I give you all my magic power, son. Now kill Yushka. Kill him! Vaporize him until there is not a trace left of him on the ground.
When the path we've chose intersect, great power will be born, a tremendous power that can move the entire demon world with its bare strength alone. If there's something I'm usually right about, it's the fact that I don't like to lose to any strong opponent, no matter what. It's us against him. Come on, Asval!
After we defeat Asval, the wand falls to the ground and Yushka destroys the Jewel of Miara. And Yushka is about to take revenge on Asval for killing Najin, but Ojaros says that it's not Asval's fault and it was the fault of his sister, Empress Elgadora, and the jewel she used to control Asval. Even though Yushka is angry, he spares Asval's life. Irusha arrives and is glad that we're all safe. With all the demon nation suffering huge blows, Yushka vows to rebuild Farazard and heads back as we go to Lord Masen. In Baldista, Valeria is missing, while in Zekles, Asval recovers and wakes up. Yushka stands atop his tower with the Sword of Astron and declares he will go together with Najin to rebuild his kingdom, thus ending version 5.1. So 5.2 was the first part I actually got to play brand new when it first came out over the summer of 2020. This is also where we got the new coin boss, Sir Leopold from Dragon Quest VIII, who gives you a nifty mask accessory. So 5.2 begins with us talking to Lord Masen in the Temple of Gora about how difficult it will be to fix things within the demon nations of Zekles and Baldista after the recent conflicts. So Lord Masen requests that we help solve things between them. Irusha volunteers to go because of her powers have proven to be useful. We first go to Zekles and talk to Rinberry, who we ask to take us to the castle, and she confesses she has a crush on Asval. She says that Asval is in pain due to the death of his mother, Empress Elgadora, and Rinberry wants to help him because Ojaros is clearly taking advantage of the situation because Asval left Ojaros in charge of the country. Ojaros isn't letting Rinberry see Asval, and she gives us proof of servant as we get into the castle. So we're inside the castle and talk to the depressed Asval, who refuses to see anyone. However, the person lying in Asval's bed is a demon taking his place! Asval! Your ears got so big! The demon reveals his name is Bogan and was chosen to masquerade as Asval because he has a similar voice. And Bogan eats the cookies and then the servant's proof in her bag begins to shine. Rinberry pops out of it. Feeling angry, Rinberry vows to take out Ojaros because Asval might be killed like his father was. Bogan says that Asval is in Verenard back in Astoltia, and Rinberry says it would take her a month to get there by normal means, but since we have the Abyss Stone we can travel there right away. So we go to the poetry ruins in Verenard and see Otis talking to Asval disguised as a Weddy. Prince Otis says that Asval is a well-known historian and his new tutor. Asval is surprised that Ojaros is now in charge and he doesn't want to go back because he was nothing but a tool for his mother. He praises Ojaros, who is kinder to him than his mother, and understood his sadness, and Ojaros even told Asval to go to Astoltia. And Asval says he'll never be coming back to the demon world. Prince Otis asks about a poem from Asval's hometown, and Asval recites one that his late mother loved. Endless sky, endless time, 1,000 stars, one flower, one voice, 1,000 lives filled with earth. The moving sky when the flowers die, even if the stars disappear. And then Irusha says the rest of the poem, I dedicate it to you, the heart remains the same. Oh dear one, believe me, burn my heart this love. Asval is wondering how she knows it. She saw the poem in Zekli's castle in Ojaros' room. Because of this, Asval decides to go back to his hometown. Back at the castle, Rinberry appears and asks about Asval as she goes into Ojaros' room. Asval and Ojaros are inside with organs in a jar, and Asval tells everyone to go home. Asval still wants to hand over the kingdom of Zeklis to his uncle Ojaros, which makes Rinberry angry and says Ojaros doesn't have the blood of the royal family. She is so angry she swipes the servant proof from us and vanishes. As Asval and Ojaros leave, Asval hands us a note saying to meet him at his store and activate something in a book. So we enter the hidden chamber in Asval's store and get the Lidos talisman. As we go to the store, Asval appears as a Draki and turns back into his normal form. We hand over Lidos' talisman and Asval says that it'll help his mother. Asval reveals that the organs in the jar are his mother, Empress Elgadora! Plot twist, Empress in a jar! Asval says that the poem was the only one he and his mother knew, and Ojaros wants to help bring his sister back to life. However, Ojaros seems to have other plans and wants to bring his sister back even stronger. Asval says that Ojaros is controlling her with the same jewel that she used to control Asval and vows to free her from Ojaros' rule. He plans to expose Ojaros' crime at the ceremony for his ascent to be the king of Zeklis. He asks us to team up with Rinberry to formulate a plan. So the ceremony begins as Asval addresses the people of Zeklis that he is responsible for the pain of all his people and is not suitable to be king. Asval signals to Rinberry to cast a spell which blocks everyone from hearing their conversation, and Asval demands that Ojaros frees his mother and to leave the country. Ojaros feels that it's better to leave Elgadora in her current state because of the jealousy he endured from her. Rinberry undoes the spell and Asval tells everyone that Ojaros wants to take over the country and banishes him. However, the eyes of the people begin to glow and Ojaros says that he was prepared for the situation, and all the people begin to attack us and Irusha frees them from Ojaros' control. So Ojaros summons power from the sky and turns into a skinned id from the Magistress scenario back in version 1, and we engage him in battle. And after we defeat Ojaros, Asval rushes to his mother in the jar and uses Lidos' talisman to help her. He succeeds in freeing her, but Ojaros had a trump card and turned his sister's body into a bomb ready to explode. Oh no, mother's gonna blow! So Ojaros says if Asval kills his mother, he can save Zeklis or perish with his country. Elgadora begins pounding on the glass saying she can't become the great demon lord and can't even consider herself a full being anymore, telling Asval he can't become the king either. So Asval summons his familiar and Ojaros says he should kill his mother in anger. The familiar grabs both Elgadora and Ojaros and the spirit of Elgadora hugs her son. Whispering something into his ear, the familiar brings Ojaros down into the underworld, and Elgadora's last words were saying now that Asval is now the king of Zeklis, and Irusha comments that Asval should choose to live as the king from his own free will. Having freedom for the first time in his life, Asval addresses the citizens as the new king of Zeklis. Asval reminisces how his mother loved the kingdom more than anything and he will not run away as he wanted to be free in Astoltia. He wants to make peace with Baldista and Farazard and says Zeklis will be an open country. He thanks Rinberry and walks off, but Rinberry is still angry that he still doesn't notice her. She vows to make Asval fall in love with her yet.
My mother was fiery, fierce and beautiful. My mother was a proud person, and I don't think she would want anyone to know she went out like that. Please keep the identity of that demon a secret. Well, I don't think my mother made all the right decisions for Zeklis. She loved this country far more than me or my uncle. The reason why I longed for Astoltia was because I wanted to live in a world without my mother, and I wanted to escape. Astoltia The land of the free, where my father tried to take me when I was a baby. If I had doubted my uncle's facade of kindness, then maybe my mother would have... I won't run anymore. I am going to live in this country as the king of Zekli's magic kingdom, in this precious homeland my mother once loved. The blood of the people of Zeklis will never be spilled again. In order to do so, the entire demon world must be at peace. I'd like to make peace with Valdisa and Farazard if possible. I need your help.
Asval, I think your decision is very admirable.
I'm really indebted to you guys. I'd like to thank you as the demon lord of Zekli's magic kingdom. I'll see you then. From now on, Zeklis will be an open country. Please drop by anytime. Oh yes, Rinberry of the Varister family. I have to thank you too and appreciate what you've done. Bye.
Using your Cyril alias to get close to me. After all the mumbo-jumbo, what's with your attitude, Asval?
Rinberry, calm down.
Why, you... I see. Because you can't admit in front of everyone that you're in love with me. Watch me. I'm going to make Asval fall to his knees with my charm. Asval, you're killing me!
So after this, we and Irusha casually walk into Baldissa with the monsters fighting among each other, claiming that Valeria has died. After witnessing the chaos, we go inside the castle. Once we're inside, we talk to Veltro, and two giant monsters called the Gannon brothers enter Baldissa. Wait, are they related to Gannon from Zelda? So Veltro says the Gannon brothers were banished by Valeria a long time ago and now have come back to cause chaos. Irusha tells Veltro to step up and save the country, but he's too much of a coward to do so. So he does ask us to look for Valeria and tells us to go to Gosia Jukai, which is north of Zeklis, to find her. He also says the path was blocked by a huge rock, but there may be tools in the Brannick quarry to break it. So after getting the tool we need, we go to Topal village in Gosia Jukai and see children playing in the flower garden. However, this young girl named Tilia looks a lot like young Valeria. Could it be her daughter or a relative? It can't be Valeria because, this kid is so kind and doesn't like destruction. So the girl makes a violet lamp and Veltro arrives saying he feels chills seeing the girl. Okay, she isn't Valeria, or else she'd be burning flowers on the ground. So Tilia invites the other children for some pie and we decide to talk to the villagers for information. So the villagers tell us to look at a big spider cave and we encountered a reskinned Aragune from version 1. However, as we rush the spider, it acts like a coward. Wait, are you Aragune's cowardly cousin? So the spider says his name is Webney, a soldier of Baldista who was turned into a giant spider. When they were attacking Zekli's castle, he got attacked and fell off the bridge, which made him fall into a lake, which turned him into a spider. We agreed to help him go back to normal, and he tells us monsters have been drinking from a cursed spring that turned him into a spider and have become bigger monsters. Webney tells us to go to Raw's Square, but it's difficult to get past. After investigating Raw's Square, we give a fruit of Raw to Webney and he eats it, and turning back into a normal Pucalipo demon. Aw, how cute. So Webney is actually afraid of spiders and Irusha comes up with an idea. So she wants to talk to Tilia. However, Webney says there's a more terrifying spider and that we should be careful. We go back to Topal village with Tilia doing some chores and she still doesn't remember anything about herself. In a sweet gesture, the other villagers give their bread and jam to the elder demon. However, upon seeing us, Tilia walks away and runs. So we go after her after a Meowgician says she may be heading to the Cursed Fountain. We confront Tilia at the Cursed Fountain and give her a fruit of Ra and she refuses. Veltro appears by surprise and accuses accuses Tilia of actually being Valeria. He forces Tilia to eat the fruit of Ra, but she pushes him away. We hear bells ringing and an injured demon warns that the village was attacked. The demon is injured by one of the Gannon brothers, and the Gannon brothers declare that they will rule Baldista and attack Veltro. Tilia goes back to the village as we battle it out with one of the Gannon brothers. After defeating one of the Gannon brothers, Veltro quickly dispatches him as we go back to Topol Village, and back at Topol Village, the other Gannon brother and his monster minions are attacking everyone, and the other Gannon brother attempts to kill the Elder Demon. No, not the old lady! Go back to Hyrule! However, the Elder Demon is rescued by Tilia holding a pen. The pen is mightier than the sword. The Gannon brother is surprised that Tilia has so much power, and Tilia declares that he's gonna die. Sounds like Valeria. So Tilia agrees to finally have the fruit of Ra and turns back into Valeria. Of course!
I won't let you take the life of someone I care about in front of me ever again.
No, you're the Demon Lord Valeria! What do I do now?
So Valeria, now back in action, easily takes out the Gannon brother and the rest of the monsters. So she says she was blown away back at the attack of Zekles and drank from the cursed fountain in order to survive and was turned into a child. And she felt weak and decided to live as a child in Topol Village. Helpless? I mean, you can wield a pretty mean pan, Valeria. So Valeria is convinced that the demon world still needs her power and offers Baldista's help to help rebuild Topol Village. The children still call her Tilia and give her violet lanterns that Valeria taught them how to make. The elder demon says that Valeria is welcome to visit anytime. It looks like you warmed her very cold heart. So Veltro confesses he knew Tilia was Valeria and had a plan to lure the Gannon brothers here so we can get rid of them. So we go back to the war-torn Baldista, and Valeria, being her badass self, fends off all the monsters as everyone is surprised to see her. Valeria offers us a place in her army but laughs it off since we're actually going to be the Great Demon King. Yushka arrives and also wants help for Farazard. He tells us how he wants to still unite the demon world and after losing Najin but doesn't know what he should do. However, he also realizes he doesn't need to be the Great Demon King to save the demon world. Realizing our actions have brought peace to Zekles and Baldista, Yushka accepts that we will be the Great Demon King through our actions, and Lord Masen asks if we're ready to become the Great Demon King, and we say yes. Vote for me, your next Demon King. So impressed with our determination, Lord Masen asks if he can talk to us alone in his private chamber, and he takes off his head, and it's our sibling! Our sibling was Lord Masen all along! So after the battle in version 4, our sibling was warped into the demon world hundreds of years ago and was about to be killed by a demon on Demon Mountain, but the previous Lord Masen came and saved our sibling's life. So the previous Lord Masen was about to pick his next successor and chose our sibling to take his place, becoming one with the power of darkness, giving our sibling a body to live within the demon world and the chance to be able to stay in an era for a long time. Our sibling has watched over the demon world for hundreds of years and knows a great evil is coming but wants us to become the Great Demon King to save the demon world, as our sibling is masquerading as Lord Masen. So Yushka is happy we made our decision to become the Great Demon King, and Lord Masen decides to hold a ceremony to celebrate the new Demon King. Yay, we won the election! I'm now the new Demon King! Dragon Quest stimulus reviews for everyone! Lord Masen says that we should invite Valeria and Asval to the ceremony and gives us invitations for them. We make our way to Zekles and Asval congratulates us, saying he will attend the coronation and gives us the Demon King's crown. We go to Baldista and Valeria challenges us to a fight with all of her subjects watching. Hey, I won't go down as easily as last time, Valeria! So after defeating Valeria, she's impressed and tells all of her subjects that we are the new Demon King, also confirming that she's going to the coronation. Man, I wish people like this would actually come to my birthday party. So we go back to Gora Temple and tell Lord Masen the good news, but Yushka rushes through the door saying that Irusha got kidnapped. Oh no, not Irusha! So Yushka says that the kidnapper is heading towards the Desido Dark Wilderness as we both head there together. We enter the castle in the Desido Dark Wilderness and see Irusha there safely with Peperogora, who apparently designed the throne. Whew, I'm glad Irusha is safe because we can always trust Peperogora. So Yushka is laughing his ass off because he fooled us into actually coming into this castle that he built just in case he was to become the Great Demon King. Whoa, so you're saying that you built me a castle? Like, this is one hell of a pogger's pad, man. I'm gonna put my Dragon Quest collection there and there.
Hey! Look at the mega awesome throne that my artistic talent crafted for our great Demon King!
So Lord Masen arrives and says the coronation will be held in this castle, spreading the news that there is going to be a new Demon King. So the day of the coronation is at hand with all of our guests as Lord Masen officiates the ceremony and crowns us as the new Demon King. However, the crown falls to the ground and Lord Masen says a great evil is among us and flies above the ground, attacking everyone in the room.
Hey sibling, you're supposed to be making me look good. Get down from there right now!
So Lord Masen says that the demon world was once part of Astoltia and the source of the great darkness called Jaganuba attacked, so the goddess Lutayena separated the demon world and Jaganuba from Astoltia, making the demon world abandoned by its creators. Those people left in the demon world were forced to either die or become demons to adapt to the harshness of the demon world. So now those demons have a hatred for Astoltia for being abandoned, and Lord Masen says now it's time for the demons to reinvade Astoltia, and if we can break the chain of hatred as a new demon king. Lord Masen transforms into some kind of weird creature and begins attacking everyone. So the demon rulers protect everyone as we team up with Yushka to take down this weird eyeball creature. And as we defeat the creature, everybody talks about the great disaster that will arrive and how we all must team up to stop it. So back at Grand Zadora, we see Aunt Lucia come out of the royal labyrinth with a brand new outfit and sparks of electricity around her. Super Saiyan 2 Aunt Lucia? And we also see a boy who looks familiar to Irusha, thus ending version 5.2. And upon finishing version 5.2, we also get Irusha's sketchbook. So 5.3 begins in the throne room of our swanky new castle as our new servant Carlo greets us as we sit on our new throne. So the three demon lords are in the room together and pledge their allegiance to us. With peace settled between the three kingdoms, Yushka is wondering what Lord Masen was trying to do to us earlier and that we should look as we want to break the grudges that the demons have against Astoltia. Carlo suggests that we try to win the hearts of the people since we're the new demon king. So we begin by trying to make the outfit of the great demon king with the help of an elderly demon named Dissia, and after she helps us out, she passes away. No, not Dissia! So she leaves us a letter saying that she was ill and hid it from us, but wanted to complete our suit before she died. I'm Batman! So when I first got this costume, I told the Dragon's Den team in our team chat that I'm Batman, so my pal Dan was surprised and asked where I got the costume, and I just said I just got it through the main story. So the rest of Dissia's letter says that the mask of the king will be used to hide our gentle hearts so we can strike fear and authority into the demon world.
I am vengeance. I am the knight. I am the great demon king.
So we go back to Gerheno Gena and a poster of Yushka's face is crossed out. We hear Veltro talking with someone who may have betrayed us and we go down a stairwell. In the jail cell we see a young boy who looks similar to Irusha asking for our help. He introduces himself as Narazia. So he has no recollection of how he got here nor anything about himself. Veltro arrives and says he has some information about an attack on our castle and the leader of the rebellion may appear. Veltro suggests we go to the Jalan Baja desert and that's where the attack may begin. We end up leaving Narazia in his cell. So Narazia is brought with the rebels who are plotting against us and the leader Gotse appears who looks like a demon dwarf. Veltro is there with some Baldista soldiers and Gotse declares that he's about to be the new demon king. As the rebels are about to kill Narazia, Veltro and his men spring into action and says he only serves Valeria and the true demon king as we step in. Veltro and his men defeat the rebels, but Gotse summons the jewel and transforms into a much stronger monster. He excels breath which knocks out all the soldiers, but Narazia is still alive, and Veltro escapes like a coward as he leaves us to deal with Gotse. And after we defeat Gotse, Veltro interrogates Gotse on why he wanted to rebel, and Gotse says he didn't want to go to the Great Court Gate to avoid Asval and Valeria. He's shocked that someone like us is the Great Demon King and throws a tantrum that he couldn't be the Great Demon King. Gotse asks for forgiveness and swears allegiance to us. We forgive him and Gotse vows to follow us for the rest of his life. And Veltro is glad that his plan to infiltrate the rebels worked and questions who Narazia is. And just like Irusha, Narazia doesn't remember who he is and only remembers a deep fog and is trying to find Irusha. And Veltro asks Narazia if he wants to come with him to Baldista, but Narazia disappears. So after Veltro leaves, we go to the Great Demon Wall and see a sculptor named Mohipenko, who we give a box of demon macaroons to. Mohipenko is happy that he will carve our face in the Great Demon Wall, which is the Mount Rushmore of demon rulers, and we see the past rulers of the demon world, such as Nerodus, and say we're the ones who beat him 1,000 years ago back in version 4. Mohipenko is angry and draws out the power from Nerodus' face to bring out a phantom Nerodus to fight us. And sadly, we don't have Alvin to help us out. Alvin, help us! Mohipenko says if we defeat the Phantom Nerodus, he will carve our face into the Great Demon Wall. So after having our face carved into the Great Demon Wall, we go back into the castle and Rinberry arrives saying we should get ready for the Great Demon Ball by learning how to dance. Rinberry also says she's going to decorate the interior of our castle with her high sense guidance and meets us at the ball. We arrive at the ball in Zekles with Asval and Rinberry as we go down the stairs to mingle with the Zekles aristocrats. The aristocrats say that the Great Demon King should also be a great dancer, because the Great Demon King is a smooth ogre. So we show off our new dance, which isn't exactly the smooth ogre. So Rinberry begins to laugh how funny we look, but one of the elder demons says that this is a dance from ancient times and is truly a winning dance which impresses everyone. So we go back to the castle and Carlo is impressed how much of a name we made for ourselves as the Great Demon King. However, a guard from Zekles rushes in and says a magic mound appeared near Baldista, leading to the great cave that leads to Astoltia. Soldiers who are at the mound are seeking help and we call Irusha for help. So on our way to the mound, we talk to Veltro in Baldista about a mysterious group of hoods looking for Valeria.
Oh, hello, Great Demon King. You've just come to the right place at the right time. It's a good thing you've come on such short notice right now. Oops, pardon me. I do need to ask you about something first. So, how are you doing right now? Did some suspicious people show up at your door too? Yes, I wanted to talk about that too, as expected from the Great Demon King. So it looks like a particular group of mysterious hooded figures came here to start trouble in Baldista and were about to cause quite a ruckus. They were here to find our own Demon Lord, Valeria. So, on that day, our forces here in Baldista were spread thin after Valeria disappeared. Hey, they're here! So they were like, "Where is the Demon Lord Valeria? If you don't tell us, we'll show no mercy." Then one of my guards says, "Who the hell are you people?" The hoods say, "Out of the way!" Ah! So the hoods beat the elite forces of the Baldista army and made their way into the throne room. The hoods were like, "We're not leaving this castle until we get her head." Then they were like, "Blood for blood, tell us where she is, and we won't kill any more of your soldiers." I know Valeria destroyed various nations, so I assume those hooded figures were probably one of them. Obviously, this is some country that wants revenge. What do we do now? They were led by a swordsman with unparalleled strength and 3 magicians. It's a shame my strength was too much for them. I might be able to survive on my own, but the others might get killed. I don't think it's a good idea to fight them here. Well then, I think I might have a solution for this after all. The swordsman was like, "Answer me this. Where is your demon lord? If you try to cover for her any longer..." "Well then, you intruders, if it's Valeria you seek, she's not here right now." They were like, "What did you say?" "Valeria is at the Great Demon King's castle. Now that I've told you where she is, you will leave Baldista as promised." They were like, "The Great Demon Castle, huh? You better not be lying." So just like that, the hooded figures left Baldista and made their way to the great demon lord's castle, and we're all safe now. Well, I kinda added a few things here and there. The hooded figures will probably show up sooner or later, but I'm sure you can handle it. Valeria's enemies are your enemies now, so that makes them your responsibility. Don't worry about a thing, Great Demon King. I'll handle the rest.
Back at the castle, we get a warning that the barrier outside the castle was broken and that we need to prepare for the attack. Our comrades appear in the main hall and Valeria says that we should withdraw because the hoods are after her specifically.
Impossible. My barrier was broken that easily?
Hold it right there. I'm reluctant to spill your blood here in the Great Demon King's castle, but I can't help it. Who are you?
I don't know. I can't remember anything. I'm wondering if you are Yushka? At last, I finally come all this way to meet you face to face after all this time. Ugh.
You! Who are you, really? So Narazia also has the same thorns on his arms like Yushka, but still has no recollection on who he is. Carlo takes Narazia to the medical office and wonders who Yushka and Narazia are. We go to the medical office and see the mummy, Dr. Mu, with Yushka as she watches over Narazia sleeping in bed. Yushka is wondering if Narazia will wake up soon and somewhat feels like she's met him before. She touches his hand, but their thorns shock each other. Dr. Mu is confused on why that happened, and Yushka continues to watch over Narazia. So we go back to the throne room and talk about how Narazia is actually a human that crossed into the demon world who got found out by Veltro and the Baldista army. Asval thinks Narazia is not human since he was able to pass through the barrier he set up earlier, and Valeria deducts that Narazia is not related to the hoods and plans to interrogate him as he gets up. So one of the guards arrives with our new scythe and we finally wear all the equipment for the Demon King. I'm Batman, the Great Demon King! Yeah! Huh? Who are you guys?
You're the ones who invaded Baldista, am I correct? Come to take my head as part of your vengeance? I give you credit for coming this far to the Great Demon King's castle, but it looks like you'll be dealing with me right here and now.
This road has been long and arduous. All this training, risking our lives, and the journey straight into hell were all for this moment. I'm not alone. We've all made this brave journey here, which is our mission.
Huh? What? Where? What? When? How? Puff off!
I am on Lucia, Princess of the Brave from the kingdom of Grand Zadora. Since time immemorial, the invasion against Astoltia, the destruction and slaughter of our people has gone on far enough. We can no longer allow this destruction and slaughter to continue. Let's settle this once and for all, Demon Lord Valeria. And the root of all evil, the great Demon King!
Who, me?
Look who it is. The little girl from Astoltia from back then. No need to get your hands dirty, great Demon King. Let me handle this child. Huh? Why? Why you?
Heroes and allies from generation to generation. Please, lend me your strength!
You seem very confident in your sword technique, but can you handle this, brave princess?
My sword is for Astoltia, the world that I vowed to protect!
My hometown and friends were destroyed. I felt nothing but anger and despair since the day that it happened. And now it's your turn!
Brave princess, huh? I never expected this much power from you.
Demon King! Now I will put an end to the history of Astoltia's pain and sorrow. Your evil reign shall end right here and now! Demon King, prepare yourself to meet your maker!
Hey, Carlo, what do I do? Okay. Listen, I am the great Demon King, and I'm gonna give you to the count of 10 to turn around and go out the door, or else you're gonna feel my wrath, yeah.
The little girl does have some spark to her after all. I'm shocked. Not bad, hero.
And Lucia! Leave them to us! Go after the great Demon King!
Demon King, it's over!
Hey, wait, let's talk about this. No!
Not yet!
Wait, Aunt Lucia! It's me, Ryan! No!
Ryan, I can't believe that you are... Why are you the Great Demon King?
So after we're unmasked as the Great Demon King, we offer a truce and talk to everyone in the conference room about the upcoming threat. After explaining how Yushka saved our life, and Lucia wonders where our allegiance lies. Yushka says that he will not only save the demon world, but all of Astoltia as well. Asval says that Irusha has the power to stop the conflict and that we should work together. However, Shin'e says that Ethine was destroyed by demons and he doesn't trust Irusha. And a guard comes in and says that there's more dark energy at Demon Mountain, and Yushka thinks it may be Lord Masen and asks Aunt Lucia to help us out. We all leave for Jiden Rose Garden at Demon Mountain. When we arrive at Jiden Rose Garden, it's covered in purple mist, and Irusha assures Queen Antoinette that they will remove the magic beetle soon. Yushka sees Lord Masen ascend up the stairs to go to temple, but can't make chase due to the mist. Irusha tries to dispel the mist, but is unable to. Narazia has also come to help as Irusha still tries again, but Narazia raises his hand and it looks like he has the same powers as Irusha. They both try to dispel the mist, but are surrounded by dark energy balls. Yushka takes out special jewels which take out most of the balls. Lucinda says that she'll try to help Yushka, who she also calls a kid, but Yushka says he's not a kid. He's over 300 years old. Irusha and Narazia are able to get rid of the energy balls, but not all the mist, and suddenly a dark matter appears and we must battle it to stop the mist. After we defeat the dark matter, Irusha and Narazia get rid of the mist, but the Jiden Rose Garden is in ruins. Yushka says that we must go after Lord Masen at the Goda Temple. Inside the temple, Irusha and Narazia walk together where Irusha was initially captive. And together they open the passageway below, and the true evil is God of Destruction, Jaganuba. Lucinda wonders if Lord Masen's goal is to revive Jaganuba, and we head down to find out the truth. And down below we see a door, and Irusha claims that the door is sealed to protect the world from what's inside the door, which is Jaganuba himself! Irusha and Narazia open the door together, and Aunt Lucia says we should keep Jaganuba sealed, but the seal has already been weakened and Jaganuba is about to awaken. Irusha says that she and Narazia appeared in this world to stop Jaganuba, and as we enter the door we see Lord Masen next to the body of Jaganuba. We try to stop Lord Masen, but he tells us to stay out of the way and wants to talk to us alone. And Lucia tries to assist us but is caved in by the debris. Lord Masen saves us from a rock and says it's safe to talk. Our sibling explains that Jaganuba is still asleep and was the cause of the destruction of Jiden Rose Garden. Our sibling also explains that they were trying to find a way to Astoltia and the demon world to exist for a long time but couldn't find a way to do it. The only way was for our sibling to accelerate the awakening of Jaganuba so we can all be forced to cooperate. Our sibling apologizes for forcing us to work together and summoned the monster at the coronation to deepen the bond between the demon world rulers. Our sibling is convinced that we can be the bridge between the two worlds, and ever since the end of version 4 we promise to protect Astoltia no matter what. And Lucia breaks through the debris and both Irusha and Narazia go towards Jaganuba's body as one of his eyes opens, and then suddenly a guardian named Daviaga, the god of violence, appears and rushes towards us. Lord Masen tries to fend him off, but Daviaga Zankokins Dragon Ball Z style behind him and knocks him away. Lord Masen falls to the ground and Jaganuba is moving his fingers as Daviaga heads towards us. Lucinda tries to use the same jewels that Yushka had earlier to defend us with a force field as we battle it out with Daviaga, with Irusha, Yushka, and Aunt Lucia joining us instead of our normal party members. Irusha takes out a crossbow as we get ready for battle. After we defeat Daviaga, Irusha attempts to destroy him for good, but Jaganuba causes Irusha to faint. Jaganuba absorbs Daviaga's spirit as a sacrifice and blasts away Lucinda's barrier. Jaganuba blasts us all away like we're nothing, and we think it's over until we see a pair of jewels form a seal around Jaganuba that was thrown by a person Yushka refers to as Lady Wolf, but it's actually Sage Marine! So apparently the Sage Marine we fought in the Gartland scenario back in version 1 was apparently a fake created by Pyuju. Sage Marine was Yushka's master from back in the day and taught him how to use the jewels, and Sage Marine says that only another god can challenge Jaganuba, the goddess Lutaena. Sage Marine holds off Jaganuba as we make our escape. We go back to the castle, but Narazia still hasn't woken up because he has a terrible fever. He passes out as Irusha watches over him. We go back to the throne room where everybody everybody is waiting for us. At the throne room, everyone is chatting it up as Yushka talks about Sage Marine, his former master who he called Lady Wolf, who was traveling to see what happened in the demon world and taught Yushka the value of cooperation. However, we're all worried that we aren't strong enough to fight Jaganuba, but Aunt Lucia agrees that we should all join together with the demon world and we need to resurrect the goddess Lutaena, thus ending version 5.3. 5.4 is where the newest class, Demon Swordsman, was introduced, which matches your suit on the cover of the game, which is an awesome class. And the story begins with us checking in on Narazia and he's finally awake. Narazia is telling Irusha that they're the only ones who can create God. Irusha is unsure as we join in the conversation, and Narazia notices we're inhabiting another body. Observant, are you, Narazia? Yushka arrives but leaves as we're apparently busy. We go outside to talk to Yushka and Aunt Lucia as she's surprised to see how adored we are as the great Demon King. Well, my dear, I did promise to provide Dragon Quest X stimulus reviews to everybody. It's a bit of a tough job, but someone's got to do it. And Aunt Lucia remarks how helpless she felt in front of the presence of Jaganuba, so she spent some time collecting extra wisdom crowns and has begun planning countermeasures to battle Jaganuba. We all decide to go to Astoltia with Irusha following us. So we go into the secret meeting room at Grand Zadora with all the sages, with Sage Horo not exactly liking that we became the Demon King. And Sage Marine appears as a hologram, and she says she met all the sages back when they were all younger. Sage Marine was able to seal Jaganuba for a bit, but if he fully reawakens, both the demon world and Astoltia will be destroyed. Lucinda proposes that Astoltia joins their powers with the demon world in order to stop the threat of Jaganuba. Sage Eidos says the only way to stop Jaganuba is to resurrect the goddess Lutaena, and Sage Horo suggests we go to the town of Finitoka, which is the town of light where the descendants of Lutaena's apostles reside. On our way to Finitoka, we see Narazia arrive and wonder how he even got there. He claims he was looking for Irusha but ended up here before he knew it. Narazia seems sus. In order to get to Finitoka, we need to follow a path of light from each statue, and this place can be kind of a maze. Once we get through the maze, we arrive in Finitoka and see a small dwarf mage riding in something like Frieza's space pod, but blue.
Well, you finally arrived. I've been waiting for you guys for a long time.
Whoa! Who's this munchkin?
I am the Heavenly Empress, the Empress of the Extreme Heavens from one of the 6 sacred families. I am an apostle of Lutiana, and I'm also the town elder.
A little munchkin like you. You're an elder? I, don't really get it.
Who you calling a munchkin? Shaggy-haired demon. Watch your tongue in front of your elders, demon boy. Well then, I know why you've all gathered here. There's an abomination who's about to awaken the source of darkness, isn't there? Of course, we of the 6 Holy Sect know more about this. Let's talk in the cathedral for more details. I'll be waiting for you guys.
We go to the temple where the Heavenly Empress is waiting and Narazia vanishes. Irusha can still feel his presence, but he's not there. Inside the temple, we meet up with the Heavenly Empress and the other apostles. Irusha kneels down to pray in the circle and a large sphere rises from the water. We are now told the story of the gods which has been passed down to the 6 disciples. When the earth was born, the end of time was approaching. The old god of the old world entrusted the power of creation to a pillar of young gods. With this, a young god became the god of creation. This god's name was Lutaena. Lutaena left the cradle of eternity and greeted the 7 gods who created the world of Astoltia, with peace seeming like it would last forever. However, a darkness was rising from the bottom, which was an evil god known as Jaganuba, the god of destruction, thus beginning the long battle of the gods. Irusha feels that she knows this story, and the Heavenly Empress says that the device had woken up after 1,000 years of sleep, which responded to Irusha. The Heavenly Empress says that the person who can activate the device is the goddess's substitute, who is Irusha! Whoa! The Heavenly Empress gives Irusha the armlets of Lutaena, which get absorbed into her. Irusha sees a vision of Carsadora volcano, and we're told the armlets are part of Lutaena's equipment. We need to do a ritual to revive the Goddess of Light, with Irusha being the substitute, so we need to go to different places in Astoltia to find the shrines of the goddess. The apostles say that we can only accompany Irusha to the shrines because we defeated Nadraga back in version 3. And since we defeated Nadraga, we were given the power of the tribal gods, and Irusha woke up reacting to our power. The apostles say that they will give us the technique to battle the evil gods like Jaganoba, and learning it is incredibly difficult. And Lucia and Yushka agree to take the training as we go to Carsadora Volcano. After we defeat the trial boss, Irusha makes another prayer. The Heavenly Empress is impressed we finished the trial, and we look back into the memories of the 7 pillars of the evil god. When Jaganuba appeared, Lutaena cut off the land, and Jaganuba created 7 pillars from his body and sent them into the living world. The tribal gods fought against the other gods created from the 7 pillars, and the battle lasted for a long time. Lutaena shot an arrow that pierced through all the evil gods and sealed away the area where they all fell so they wouldn't come back. We now get one of the gods of light in the form of a bracelet telling us to go to the dark forest on the elf continent of Eltona. Oh man, we gotta go back there again. You know, maybe I can ask my boy King Nikoroi for some help. Yo, Nikoroi, what's up, my boy? We kinda need a little help. Oh, wait. Oh, you're busy? Well, hey, you know, we still gotta check out the cherry blossoms, yo. And back at Finitoka, Irusha prays again, and we see a memory of the Battle of the Gods. No, not the Dragon Ball Z movie. After the 7 pillars of the evil god were defeated, Lutaena and Jaganoba had their big battle, which lasted for thousands of years. How can you even battle for thousands of years? I can't even stand internet trolls for 2 seconds. Lutaena, desperate, used her last resort, but the memory gets stopped as Irusha notices a hole that wasn't there before, which the Heavenly Empress says that it's a trace of the evil god, taking advantage of the natural disaster 500 years ago when we defeated Razburn in version 1. The Heavenly Empress also says she met Irusha's alter ego a long time ago as Lutaena's bow appears in front of everyone and gets absorbed into Irusha, and we see a vision of the Sierra pilgrimage site on the Weena Islands, which is the next part of the trial. At the Dark Forest, we see Pyuju asking why we're here and laughs that we actually didn't defeat him at Gamilgo Island. He remarks that he was going to get Irusha, and the Heavenly Empress blasts Pyuju out of the sky, and a dark presence is seen at Irusha's feet. After we defeat the trial boss, Irusha makes a prayer, and the Heavenly Empress says that the trials are about to end, and we see a vision of Lutaena trying to seal Jaganoba with the mirror alignment, which split their bodies and souls, and Jaganoba's body was sealed in the demon world, as Lutaena's body became the river of light and the souls of both Lutaena and Jaganova, and then we're cut off as the Heavenly Empress can't see any further. Lutaena's headband appears and gets absorbed into Irusha as she feels some pain and collapses. The Heavenly Empress says we need to take Irusha to the inn to rest. So at the end, Yushka and Aunt Lucia are watching over Irusha as she's resting, and Yushka heard all the stories of the goddess versus Jaganoba and wants to hear more. The Heavenly Empress says the ritual of the gods to revive Lutaena will be to reconnect the soul and body of the goddess, and Lutaena's soul is inside Irusha. What? Are you saying Irusha is a vessel for Lutaena? And Lucia asks what will happen to Irusha after the ritual, and the expression on the Heavenly Empress's face says it all. No, not Irusha. After all the good times we had together, she's gonna be gone. When Irusha becomes one with the River of Light, which is Lutaena's body, she will be gone and will have served her purpose as Lutaena's vessel. Yushka is angry that Irusha will be sacrificed to revive Lutaena and asks if there is another way, but the Heavenly Emperor says that's the fate that has been decided. Irusha awakens and feels that a very big person is sleeping inside of her, and finally understanding why she was born. She's willing to accept her fate if it means saving the world. Yeah, we totally understand, Irusha. Yushka is angry and wonders what's the point of being born if you're gonna disappear anyways, and Lucia says she wants to spend some time with Irusha before she goes. So we go to Kamiharamui Castle to look at the Sakura tree. Hey Nikoroi, I know you're a busy man, but I brought a friend here who doesn't have a lot of time left, so I let her see the cherry blossoms without your permission.
This is the cherry blossom. My, it's beautiful! I absolutely have to sketch this.
Hey!
Yushka and Lucia! What are you guys doing here?
I've always wanted to see the cherry blossoms here in Estoltia. I'm sure Asval is gonna tell me that I'm sneaking around again.
The cherry blossoms here in Kamiharamui are beautiful. Do you mind if we join you?
Of course I don't mind!
Wow! You're really good at drawing, Irusha! I can really see how precise you are!
Thank you so much. To be honest, I'm a little bit embarrassed. Lucia, would you like to try drawing a picture?
What? No, I'm not that good. When I was a kid, I tried to draw a picture of a dog for my brother, but he complimented me on a drawing of an onion. I kind of felt silly for that.
You wouldn't think the goddess of creation was such a big deal, would ya? She draws pictures and laughs, just like any normal woman you can find anywhere. It's like she's just a normal person, like us. Well, is she really the goddess Luciana, or is Arusha just Arusha? We're heading back to Finne Tolka. It's time for the last leg of my training in the secret art of killing actual gods.
I had fun today. See you later, Arusha. And you too, Ryan.
Yeah, see you later, Aunt Lucia, and best of luck to you.
So we take Arusha to the glittering sea so she can sketch one final picture.
I'm ready. I always thought it would be really great to paint the blue sea of Astoltia. It looks so beautiful today. Now I've been to all the places here that I want to go. Thanks for taking me so many places. Everything here's been great. Maybe it's because I've been the vessel to the goddess, but I do feel like Astoltia is full of the power of creation. Oh, I'm sorry, Ryan. Can we wait a little longer? I want to go in the water. I've never been in it, and I don't want to miss this chance. So the beach is hard to walk on, but the waves are so pleasant. I didn't know that. There's still so much I don't know about this world. I don't want to disappear. The truth is, I'm scared to disappear. I want to know so much more about you. I don't want to leave. Please, I just can't. I'm sorry to be so selfish, but I just can't help it. I love this world and the people who live in it. If I can save them, I'll gladly give my body to the River of Light. Thanks for keeping me company. It's time to go back to Finne Tolka. You'll have to color the sketch and finish the picture after I'm gone.
miss you so much.
At Finitoka, Irusha makes her final prayer as the Heavenly Empress says the trials are over. The spirits of Jaganova and Lutayana were sealed away separately and their memories were sealed in shrines around the world. And Irusha wonders where the soul of the god of destruction is and... oh no. Oh no! And the final part of Lutayana's equipment arrives, which are her clothes, and all of the items come out of Irusha as she absorbs them and is dressed like Lutayana. Wow!
The soul of the god of perdition is...
This box has the robe of the goddess! I can't believe it! Look at her! What's going on? Since all of the armor of light has been gathered, it must have responded to the Rusha and attached itself to her. Lucia, have your memories returned to you after all this time? Do you remember me?
Elder! It's been so long! I'm so happy to see you again after all this time!
Oh, Lucia, I've been waiting so long for this moment to reunite with you. I always knew in my heart you would return to us. But what can I say? There were times that we all lost hope awaiting your return.
I'm sorry I put you through all of that. I knew it was my destiny to return to you. I remember everything, and now I know what I need to do. Now I know what Narasia had told me. It all makes sense now. I feel someone coming. We have to go!
What happened to Yushka? Something seemed off. Let's hurry up and go after her.
Welcome back, Goddess.
It's you, the evil clown!
Oh, little missy. You're the one trying to revive the goddess? Am I right? Look at the little goddess and her motley crew. Too bad I won't let you do that.
Whoa! So many of them!
No! Hold on!
Are you dead? Are you dead?
Yusha, did you? No, Goddess Luciana!
It seems that I have awakened, and I will protect these two, for as long as it takes.
This is the power of the Goddess Lutana?
Hey, what are you yakking on about?
Okay, this isn't funny anymore. Playtime is over, kiddos. I think it's time that you come out, old pal. Lord Jaganuba!
Oh no, Jaganova! Where?
Are you some kind of idiot or something?
That shadow felt really cramped. Now I can stretch my legs a bit. Pyuju, did these people give you a hard time while I was sleeping? I see you've been carrying out my will for a long time. For that, I give you my eternal gratitude, old friend.
Yes! They gave me a hard time, but we've already opened the door to the demon world, and now destiny is on our side, Lord Jaganuba!
You! It can't be!
Howdy, Empress. It's been a while. Miss your old pal, the god of destruction?
Narashi, why are you here? What did you just call yourself? Did you just say you're the god of destruction?
That's right. I am Jaganuba. I finally remember everything back from the Jaganuba temple from the other day. That giant is my true flesh and bones. This body is only a weak vessel trapping my spirit. Now that everything is set in motion, I can finally become whole again. Everything is suddenly clear, and I now have a true vision of what I am set out to do in this world that I have awakened in.
I knew it! I knew it, you punk traitor! You were Jaganuba all along!
I want to destroy this entire world and everything in it by becoming one with my separated body. This is my true birthright as the Lord of Destruction.
No way! Narasia, you were the vessel for Jaganuba all along? I can't believe it! Why did the goddess do this?
Ryan, I'm surprised you were saved. But I was happily hiding in Arusha's shadow all along and had the pleasure of accompanying you. Why the long face, Ryan? Surprised that evil gods like us are still around, causing you the trouble we enjoy so much. All it just took was your interference to wake me up from my slumber. I really owe you my gratitude and all, Ryan. Alright then, boys and girls, let's start playtime together.
It's playtime!
Greetings, I am evil God Yafagil. Thank you for freeing me from the crack.
We need your power to revive me in full. You should come with us to ensure the revival of myself, Lord Jaganuba.
Yes, my lord.
Luciana, what do you plan on doing? We just can't let them...
Well, Luciana, what do you think? Time is of the essence, so come with us.
I understand. We must go to the Temple of Rufa.
Wait! Luciana! Why are you going to the God of Destruction? It doesn't make any sense! Come back!
Children of Astoltia, do not fear. I am bound by the rules of my fate, but you can leave things in my hands.
I'm sorry, Ryan.
How could this be? I just can't believe it. Luciana, Yushka. I'm going back to Finetoka to warn the others. Be careful out there.
We go back to Finetoka and tell Anne Lucia and Yushka what happened. However, the Heavenly Empress says that Narazia and Irusha were created by Lutayana before she died, and that was the only way to house their souls. So Narazia and Irusha were twins housing the souls of the two gods, and the Heavenly Empress was serving both of them a long time ago, but never detected Jaganova inside Narazia. Now that Anne Lucia and Yushka have completed their training, they will assist us in finding Irusha at the Temple of Rufa, which is located at the River of Light, which lies between Astoltia and the Demon World, and we can access it through the Luxagarn Great Cavity. We travel through the Luxgarn Great Cavity and arrive at the Temple of Rufa, and we see Irusha and Narazia walking towards the temple, but we're stopped by evil God Yafagil as Yushka and Anne Lucia activate their Super Saiyan powers. So Yushka apparently takes down Yafagil with a single blow, but another one appears. I'm seeing triple! 9 Yafagils! The original one comes back to life and says he's one soul with 3 bodies, and as long as all 3 don't die, he can be revived over and over. The 3 bodies of Yafagil go to the Temple of Rufa. Our friends Valeria, Asval, Shin'e, and Estella arrive to assist us as Yushka called them over, and we split into 3 teams. We form a plan to get rid of all the Yafagils at the same time since we need to defeat them all together. The teams are Yushka and Asval, and Lucia and Valeria, Estella, Shin'e, and us. Hey, just like old times, right, Shin'e? And hey, how's my hot dragon priestess Estella doing? So the Temple of Rufa is actually a split-party dungeon like in Final Fantasy VI, where you control not only yourself but Yushka and Anne Lucia as well. And the dungeon does require you to switch teams at certain points to open certain doors, and it's a bit confusing at first, but you'll get the hang of it. It's also cool to control the different characters as each of them play differently and everybody goes Super Saiyan. So we fight off all the Yafagils and finally defeat them. However, they all destruct and Estella gets injured in the process, forcing her to withdraw from the battle.
Well done, brave hero.
You too. I didn't think we could win if we were to go it alone.
You've gotten more powerful. However, you can become even stronger. Make sure not to neglect your training.
Yeah, I know. I'll make sure you won't see me as a little girl anymore. But I'll say, I'm glad I got to fight this battle with you as my ally and compatriot.
Spouting out such sappy rubbish, I see.
The explosion of the Yafagils caused the way to the central tower to be destroyed as everyone tells us to go ahead and we only have the path leading to the central tower. So a stairway appears leading us to the top of the temple where we see Irusha and Narazia awakening their respective gods. However, Pyuju stops us, but Sage Marine also arrives saying that she and Pyuju were old acquaintances. She brings out the Mirror of Ra, which reveals Pyuju's true form. He's bonkers, man. So now we got the chance to clown Pyuju for good. So after we defeat Pyuju, Sage Marine kind of traps him in a crystal and wow. So what did he taste like? So Sage Marine says that Jagonoba's body was on the verge of awakening and appeared here, and after that Sage Marine leaves and then we head to Irusha, ready to say our final goodbye.
I knew you'd come. I felt your light all along. I'm sorry that I left without telling you anything. In order to resurrect the goddess Luciana, it was necessary for me and Narazia to perform a divine soul melding ceremony. So I had to go with Narazia, even though I knew he was a refugee of the god of purditation. Ryan, thank you. It was great to finally meet you and your friends. Goodbye, my friend.
No, Irusha! Don't go! So now we see the goddess Luciana rise from the River of Light. However, we see two dark gods appear from Carsadora Volcano, and Luciana uses her crossbow and defeats them. Boom! Headshot!
Where there is light, there is always dark. Where there is darkness, is there always light? Darkness. It will always be there, waiting when light goes away. It doesn't need the light to survive. Well, I am eternally grateful to you guys. These thorns were meant as an obstacle to seal away Jaganuba from regaining power. In fact, regaining my power. But you guys played your part and undid the thorns to my convenience. Do you even know what I'm talking about with everything that happened? Alright then, I'll tell you. Do you know how the goddess sealed away Jaganuba? That was a powerful curse that sealed herself and her opponent in the same way. Even though Luciana sealed herself away, it was the only way to seal Jaganuba too, even at the cost of sacrificing herself. Now that the goddess's seal has been broken, what do you think will happen to Jaganuba's seal? Do you guys get it? Not only did you revive the goddess of light, but you also revived the god of destruction. Thank you so much for all your wonderful hard work. I truly appreciate it. Irusha knew this all too. She believed she could protect this beloved world and chose to revive Luciana. I have no idea if Luciana will actually succeed. It's like a game. Now the stage is set. The fate of the world will be decided between the battle of the gods. I'll show you. Enjoy your front row seat.
Where are you taking us, Narazia?
It is time. Wake up, Jaganuba, the god of destruction. Become one with me and destroy everything. We will leave nothing alive.
Oh no. We see Jaganoba's body appear in the sky and eat Narazia, making him whole again. Now we see the intense battle between Lutayana and Jaganoba. Jaganoba takes the bodies of his fallen god pals, absorbs them, and takes Lutayana by surprise. Their battle intensifies as Lutayana is hit by Jaganoba and falls to the ground. Did we just lose? And Jaganoba flies off as we head back to Finatoka with our friends, as we no longer have any hope of defeating the God of Destruction, thus ending 5.4. Holy crap! So 5.5 begins with us sitting on our throne with the 3 other demon rulers giving us the state on what's going on in the demon world. Valeria says the pollution of the demon world is getting worse, Asval says people are suffering from a disease caused by magic, and Yushka says the city of Gora also has this problem. However, Yushka says that Farazard is doing okay for now, with Lutayana gone. Nobody is here to stop Jaganoba. Yushka refuses to give up, and then we hear a voice. So the goddess of the wind, Eldona, speaks to us and says even though her mother Lutayana was defeated, her soul is still sleeping at the bottom of the River of Light. We need to get the power of the flowers from the World Tree from the priestess Himea from the beginning elf story who is the guardian of the World Tree. We explain the situation and Yushka joins us as Asval and Valeria go back to their kingdoms. We head back to Ethine and Yushka is contemplating how people don't know the danger that is coming. Hana the pig comes to us and greets Yushka, and also Shin'e arrives and says that we need to wait till tomorrow to leave because he has something to tell us, and a messenger from Tuskull shared an important message. So the message is that Maiden Himea will be doing her final mission on the World Tree and will be ending her life. We have a feast and during the campfire we begin telling Yushka our amazing feats and journeys throughout all the parts. Yushka talks about his experiences in the demon world and Shin'e says that the more he talks to Yushka the less he understands him. And after telling our story, Yushka says we're a way more amazing person than when he picked us up and brought us back to life. So we go to the World Tree and see Maiden Himea with Yushka. Himea says that we must unite to stop Jaganoba and she will bring us the flowers of the World Tree. And if she takes the flowers out of her, she's gonna die, but she's willing to go and she will miss her children saying farewell and it's time to fulfill her destiny. And Yushka says they definitely need her flowers for sure after all the countermeasures in the demon world have been used. Yushka asks if there's any other ways rather than sacrificing Himea's life, but she explains how she lived for over 500 years and began summoning the flowers of the World Tree from her body. Before she gives us the flowers, she has one request saying that if her actions don't amount to anything, a new guardian of the World Tree will be selected, but if the root of all evil is destroyed, the guardian of the World Tree will finish its role and Himea will be the final guardian. And her final request is for us to beat Jaganoba. We will, Maiden Himea. So after that we take the flowers of the World Tree and Himea tells us to go to Finatoka and the Holy Light Priest will show us how to use the flowers. So Yushka leaves and Himea says that we have followed a strange fate and that we are the right person to lead Astoltia to a bright future. Himea begins to feel woozy and collapses, and she's picked up by the ghost of Kohaku, who was her former lover, and she still feels uncertainties in this world, and Kohaku is proud of her and will be taking her away, saying to become the wind and watch the future of the world, watching the breath of the young leaves. Himea and Kohaku's spirits now ascend to the heavens as her physical body falls. Oh my god, Himea! Godspeed to you! So we go to Finatoka and the Holy Light Priest sends us to the River of Light where we see the light of the goddess. But we see a hand from a freaky skeleton grab the light and says everything is empty. He says his name is Vanitatos, the evil god of nothingness who controls oblivion, who is ordered by Jaganoba to look for the soul of the goddess. And Vanitatos offers to give us a hug and says our lives are valueless. Don't hug me, you bag of bones! And luckily we do have Yushka for most of these boss battles who can turn bosses into metal statues. After we defeat Vanitatos, he says no matter what, nothingness is the only thing that awaits us. He tears apart the fabric of time and space and laughs that the beginning of the end is coming. We use the flower of the World Tree to get the soul of the goddess and a butterfly comes out. So we go back to our castle and Carlo gives us a report saying that big demons are appearing everywhere. We show everyone the flower of the World Tree and reassure everyone that we can stop the demons. Carlo says that the magic mound in the Jalim Baja desert has been reactivated. We all go to the Magic Mountain, which is surrounded by a massive dark mist, and Luciana comes out and purifies the area with her light. The mist goes away and Yushka talks about his childhood from 300 years ago, and his father was a jeweler that led a caravan in the desert. Even though his friends had no blood connection, they were like a family together. Yushka was learning the business, trying to become the #1 jeweler in the demon world. He was left behind by the group to learn how the business in Necrodia works with Najin and was grateful to his father. And after that, Yushka learns that his father's caravan disappears and a mound appeared where they were killed, and Yushka began traveling the world to see why the mounds appeared. Yushka met his master Sage Marine and she told him that the mounds were appearing in the demon world. He began traveling as a jeweler and told the tragedy of his father to everyone he could in the demon world. And there was a time he was thrown out and made fun of by guards, saying that he needs help getting rid of the demons. No matter where he went, nobody wanted to help him. Yushka wanted to become the Demon King to move people's hearts in order to help him get rid of the bad demons. He's glad that he met us because we're carrying the fate of the world since we became the great Demon King. A messenger from Baldista arrives with a message from Valeria and says that the Abyss Gate and the path to Zahadigal Iwamine is blocked, so we head over to Baldista and talk to Valeria. We ask Valeria if she can get rid of the barrier around Zahadigal Iwamine, but Veltro says they sent a force over there to deal with the demons, but they were killed. So they had to put a barrier, and Valeria is worried that Irusha is gone, so there's no way to contain the magic mount. We summon Luciana as a butterfly and give Valeria confidence that we can contain the threat. So Valeria gives Veltro the order to unlock Zahadigal Iwamine, and we can use the Abyss Jewel to warp there. At Zahadigal Iwamine, Luciana says the evil demons are terrorizing the lives of the people, so we need to stop the demons. So Luciana purifies the area and all the people can move again. So one of the guards shows us that he found Lord Masen's headpiece. A guard from Zekles arrives and tells us to talk to Asval. We talk to Asval and he says that one of the magic mounts has reactivated and they took measures not knowing how long they will last. And Asval says a thief invaded the underground treasure house and took the talisman of Leto and also left a letter. And the letter is actually from our sibling! So the letter says our siblings survived with Lord Masen's costume and will be playing their final role with the life they have remaining. The letter also says that Jagonoba is hiding in the evil Garden of the Stars, which is underground in the demon world below Farazard after the Great Demon period. Our sibling needed Leto's talisman in order to access the way to the garden, and that Jagonoba has been hunting our sibling down so they can't join us. And our sibling will try to get a trump card to help us as we protect the world as the Great Demon King. The letter ends with our sibling thanking us and saying they love us very much. So we explain the situation that Lord Masen was our sibling and why we had to hide that fact so they can protect the world from Jagonoba. And Yushka asks if we're going to help our sibling and will support us. And Asval also support us too, and we head to Farazard going through the underground waterway. Our sibling is at the portal gate and wonders why Leto's talisman isn't working, and we arrive with Yushka. Suddenly all these balls of energy appear and attack our sibling, which knocks them out, and we have to do a series of boss battles. After defeating the bosses, we rush to our sibling and Luciana comes out and says our sibling's soul is corrupted with demonic forces, and Luciana absorbs them. Even though the demonic forces have been removed, our sibling's life is still endangered by a horrifying spell deep within their body. Luciana says we need to visit the spiritual world inside our sibling's body to see what's holding onto their soul, and we're the only ones who can enter because we're close to one another. So we go inside our siblings' memories as Yushka holds off Jagonoba's minions. Inside our siblings' memories we see past events, and this time from our siblings' point of view, and we see Narazia inside taunting us. You little booger! So back in Ethine in version 1, our sibling realizes that time has stopped and can't communicate with us as they're warped away. In version 4, we see our sibling interact with Quad, who now has a voice actor. Our sibling says that the curse of time has been activated for them and they can't stay in this era anymore. Quad finds our sibling in a cave and they tell Quad their story of how they got there. And Quad says that they're similar in wanting to return to their hometowns. As they make their way to fulfill their goals, Quad wants to be known as Gailen Lash, the name he took from version 4 when he was grown up in the Pastor Bea scenario with Princess Urta. And Quad says that Gailen Lash is a word that means return to that day from the kingdom of Ethine. He wants to make sure that our sibling remembers Gailen Lash. Remember, Gailen Lash. Remember it. At the research center in the future where Quad is an adult, he imprisons our sibling because of their Athenial cube and needs Borondium for its research. Our sibling says that Borondium belongs to the Gateria Empire and is asking if Quad wants to start a war with Gateria. Quad says that King Jakuva from Gateria was killed by Biondo, or John Doe. But we know back in version 4 it was you who killed him, Quad. Our sibling knows that Quad killed Jakuva even though Jakuva wanted to make peace. And Quad is mad that if they waited too long, they can't go back to their hometowns, which is why he wanted the Borondium him faster and claims he doesn't have the time to wait. Quad asks if our sibling is immortal because they haven't changed since they first met and that the value of time was completely different between them. And Quad wasn't happy with his progress with time traveling since the Athenial cube was going too slow, and he just wants to be an ordinary person but is doomed to stay in this time forever and can never return to his hometown. And Quad doesn't care if he commits crimes to be able to go back to his hometown, and if the Athenial cube is completed, his suffering can end. Now we go back to the Jiden temple and see the first encounter between our sibling and Lord Masen. Our sibling is wondering if we'll ever see each other again after our encounter in version 4. The previous Lord Masen appears and notices our sibling has a troublesome curse where they can't stay in one era for too long because of the curse of time, and our sibling is too scared to be truly alone. Lord Masen says because of their fate, our sibling is the right person to become his successor. The one who becomes the new Lord Masen will have to make a contract with the darkness, and that will remove the time of curse our sibling has. Our sibling is hesitant to make a contract with the source of darkness which attacks Astoltia, but Lord Masen says that our sibling can decide what to do with the power of Lord Masen. Our sibling agrees with the contract to be freed of their curse and vows to suppress the darkness and will wait for us in the demon world. And Lord Masen brings our sibling to the temple and passes his powers onto them, freeing them from the curse of time. And after chasing our sibling through many worlds, they tell us they can't come back and are ready to die, but gets grabbed by these hands belonging to the curse of the source of darkness, who says our sibling is still cursed and asks who our sibling is to us. But can we even call them our sibling without a blood connection, since we were born in the past and sent to the future, which was revealed in version 4? And is it possible to even call a sibling who never gets old or dies our sibling? And our sibling has caused a lot of confusion in the world, being the successor of Lord Masen, and even knowing their sins, can we still call them our sibling? Yes we can, you evil red-eyed bastard! And the curse of the source of darkness says that our sibling has caused nothing but trouble, and we say that they're still our sibling and we can go back to Ethine together. And now our sibling is freed and has a nifty new outfit and says that their contract with Jaganova is over, but the curse of the source of darkness says that he will never forgive us and says the contract is made of blood, is a rule of steel, and will last until it dies. So the curse of the source of darkness says that our false bond has no meaning and we should remain forever in this prison of extinction, engaging in another boss battle where we team up with our sibling. And after we defeat the curse of the source of darkness, the contract finally disappears and our sibling goes Super Saiyan, saying that they're our sibling and nobody else. Now our sibling is free from both the curse of time and darkness, and they're happy they can now remain in the same time as us. And Lutayena arrives and creates a doorway for us to exit with our sibling, saying we have a world to protect. Yeah, once we're back in Ethine with Shin'e, everything's gonna be back to the way it was. So we arrive back with Yushka still fighting Jaganova's orbs, and then Narazia arrives. You little punk, I'm gonna strangle you!
It looks like you're finally out. Are you both okay?
Amazing. Amazing! It is an unprecedented feat to release the contractor from my curse. Ryan, you truly are something I never expected. That's right. Would you like to be a guest at my castle? I'd love to discuss something with you. Please be my guest of honor.
No! This is the evil abyss that traps you inside the darkness. You must never touch it.
Oh, Luciana, you should just learn to butt out. You lost to me and are like a cockroach who just came back. Oh, how much more will you make me laugh? Now, come with me, my little PogChamp. I'll make you into a real great demon king.
Jaganuba. I'm really disappointed. You really don't have any foresight, do you? It seems you really want this guy, but sad to say, he's not really the one that you want. A savior who saved Astoltia many times, blessed by the tribal gods, loved by the goddess, and blessed with a dazzling light. Oh, and also, he came to the demon world to fight on our side. This is the type of guy he is. Kinda hard to dye this guy with the power of light into darkness. I think there's someone more suitable for that. The Great Demon Lords are a pretty interesting bunch, but I'm probably the most interesting of them all, my friend. I've got skills they don't have. If you join forces with me, I'll show you a newer, more exciting world that nobody can ever bring you. Things that only you alone can rule. I nominate myself, the Great Demon Lord Yushka. I alone am suitable to be the new Great Demon King. Choose me, O Great Jaganuba, the God of Destruction.
Let's make your wish come true.
See ya. Najin, when you protected me, didn't you think the same way? This is the path I chose.
The source of darkness is gathering the demons somewhere else. What does this mean? No way.
We tell Farazard that Yushka was taken and we bring our sibling to the medical room back in our castle. Dr. Mu says that our sibling will recover and Shish Kebab's men come into the room with Gilgamot from Farazard. And Gilgamot says she's glad we're okay and was surprised what Yushka did, saying that nobody else could be like Najin. Without a king in Farazard, Gilgamot says she wants to team up with Astoltia and that Yushka says that cooperation is the most important thing and to never give up hope. So can we rescue Yushka and defeat Jaganuba? Find out on the next exciting episode of Dragon Quest X, thus ending the first part of version 5.5. We start off the second half of version 5.5 hearing Yushka's voice in a dream and see a bright light in front of us. Yushka, I can totally hear you, buddy. You must have great reception where you are. Yushka says he was finally able to contact us telepathically in our dreams and doesn't have a lot of time left. He gives us a vision of the underground waterway and a very purple looking place and says that the final battle for the fate of the world is about to begin. The hands come out and we wake up from the dream. We're surrounded by our friends after we were apparently unconscious in the throne room. Hey man, you would totally pass out too if your pal Yushka was kidnapped by some kid who calls himself the God of Destruction. And Dr. Mu asks if there's something wrong with us and we tell everyone about the dream with Yushka and where we need to go next. Lutayena comes out and tells everyone that the world is about to head towards destruction as Jaganuba has unleashed the Seal of Perdition, which will pierce the River of Light and destroy Astoltia and all the demon world. And Lucia asks how we were able to contact Yushka, and Sage Marine says since we made a blood pact with him, that's how we're able to stay in touch. Because blood is thicker than smartphones. Sage Marine says that Yushka mastered the art of the blood pact, trying to help Najin after Najin lost his eye. After hearing all of this, Asval praises Yushka for trying to save our life and Valeria wonders how we can find Jaganuba in the Sea of Miasma. Then suddenly a guard arrives and tells us our sibling has finally woken up, so we all go to the infirmary. Our sibling is feeling a bit better despite having some trouble moving their body and recognizes Anne Lucia from the time they briefly saw each other in Nadragond in version 3. And Lucia is surprised that our sibling was Lord Masen, and that's why Anne Lucia was protected from Jaganuba. Our sibling tells us that the miasma flows from the underground water veins from the demon world and how they ended up washing ashore the Zahigadal rocks, and Lord Masen's costume protected them from the miasma. Our sibling tells us that they took the talisman of Leto and headed to the altar of Zard but got attacked by a demonic miasma spirit. They're certain that Jaganuba is in the evil garden of the ruined stars beyond the Sea of Miasma. Sage Marine suggests we go to the Gora temple, and our sibling tells us a story of how Lord Masen told them how after Jaganuba was sealed away, the demon world was cut off from Astoltia, and the remaining humans who were trapped in the demon world became demons. There were demons who gained power from the miasma and were unable to contain the power of it, which ended up killing them. Luckily, the Gora tribe was able to find a way to deal with the miasma, led by a demon named Goda. Goda covered the temple of Jaganuba with a great mass rock and left his son Jadin to watch over it, and led demons into Astoltia. This was done to prevent grudges and resentment from demons from using Jaganuba to produce more demon miasma. Goda passed on the duties of the demon world to his son Jadin, thus beginning the era of the Great Demon King and Lord Demoness. Lord Masen didn't have the great leadership of his father Goda, but was able to protect the order of the demon world by selecting the most powerful demon suitable to be the Great Demon King. A demon named Farazard was able to take Goda's strategy one step further and sought to counter Jaganuba. He saw the great source of darkness lay in the Sea of Miasma below the Jaganuba temple. Farazard worked with Lord Masen to create the Sea Beast, the only creature capable of breaking through the miasma. Sadly, it took so long to develop and create the Sea Beast that Farazard was unable to see its completion as he died of old age. Thousands of years passed, and the Altar of Zard is where Farazard left the means to communicate with the Sea Beast. If we can summon Farazard's sea monster, we can head over to Jaganuba's location. Our sibling was unable to contact the Sea Beast from the altar and tried using Lidos' talisman but failed. As we make our plan to go to the evil garden of the ruined stars, Valeria is confident she can kick the asses of everyone standing in our way. I totally believe you, Valeria, having been on the receiving end of one of your attacks before. Everybody is feeling determined and we're given Lidos' talisman, but our sibling is still hurting from their injury and says Lidos' talisman hasn't regained its full power yet. So we head over to the Temple of Goda and talk to Grand Mage Lido's spirit to free the talisman's power, and we have to say in Japanese, Lido is my friend. That's right, Lido is my bestest buddy in the whole world. We play fantasy football together, or should I say, Final Fantasy football. We're now at the underground waterway at the Altar of Zard and give the fully powered talisman to our sibling, and they use it to summon Brulatos, the sea demon beast. Reminds me of Cetacea from Dragon Quest XI, like his evil brother or something. Our sibling was also able to restore Brulatos' power after it was taken away by Jaganuba many years ago. Sage Marine is determined to finish what her apprentice Yushka started, and Ana Lucia feels we can conquer anything as long as we're by her side. Aw, that's so sweet, Ana Lucia. Call me later. Veltro wishes Valeria a safe journey, but Valeria says if she doesn't come back, he'll be in charge of Baldista. However, Veltro feels confident that Valeria will return, and Asval thanks Rinberry for seeing him off. I'm surprised Rinberry would come to a place like this. And Rinberry gets in front of Asval and says she won't forgive him if he doesn't come back and will burn him to ashes, as a joke. I don't know who's worse, Rinberry or Valeria. And Asval swears he'll protect the land that his mother loved and will not give up on his people and himself. And then Rinberry massively blushes as Asval goes. Our sibling would have joined us, but they need their body to recover, so it's up to us, and they give us the Great Demon King seal as we head off on Brulatos to finally settle things with Jaganuba. As we're riding Brulatos, Sage Marine comments the amount of demon miasma is so intense that she can't even see ahead. We hear Yushka's voice and connect with him, which helps guide the way. A whole bunch of evil hands appear and Lutayena comes out and shields us from them. Just like blocking trolls on Twitter and my YouTube comments. Lutayena feels drained and needs to rest for a while as we finally arrive at the evil garden of the ruined stars. Oh wow, it's an endless supply of grape juice, filled with demon miasma. Yummy! We hear Yushka's voice and head into Jaganuba's stronghold, where we must use Sage Marine's jewels to get across these chasms. We fight a few bosses who are knockoffs of the Holy Guardians, the game's toughest super bosses, and after defeating them we try to use the seal of the Great Demon King to proceed, but we can't because the elevator that leads below needs the life force of 4 beings to proceed.
Go, Great Demon King! The one I now recognize as our savior. If you don't take victory into your own hands, you'll never know.
I'm really proud to be of service for the greatest Demon King of them all. I know you can defeat the Root of Darkness for sure.
The crown of wisdom, the purple throne, Marine the wise. I will make a fool of myself here. I want you to be my apprentice.
The demon lords and a great sage, along with the power of the hero. We will banish the darkness that blocks your path. Now go, Ryan! You can save the world!
Now hurry, Ryan. Get here soon. You must kill me.
I'll try to do this without killing you, Yushka. Just hang on! And after our friends use their powers to open the final elevator, we go down below into a pretty crazy dungeon with Tetris puzzle elevators. Once we reach the epicenter, we're finally reunited with Yushka. However, he's been infused with the evil dark power of the miasma. He's glad that he was still able to lead us here while he still had some sense left in him. Yushka explains the forbiddenness of the blood pack he gave us at the start of version 5 and how it led to this fate, that we were destined to kill Yushka, who saved our life. Yushka feels like he's beginning to slip into the darkness and has no idea of how much longer he has left and asks us to kill him, and we reluctantly agree. Farewell, my friend. However, Narazia begins to take control of Yushka as his demonic hands come out. Narazia, you little punk! Narazia then talks about how arrogant Yushka used to be, how he used to look down upon others, treating them as servants and thought he was super arrogant. This is the reason why Narazia chose Yushka to join him.
The true Demon King has yet to be chosen. Why don't we decide it here? I'll make him the great Demon King he's always wanted to be, as an offering. I'll sacrifice his body to the power of the source of darkness. You're so boring looking. Now, become the arrogant and resentful person you once were. The true PogChamp!
I feel a lot of energy from the bottom of my stomach. So this is the source of darkness. Not bad. You think you're the great Demon King? A man who has nothing to offer. The one with nothing to bear. You're nothing more than my servants. I'll show you here and now. I'm the real PogChamp here. I, Yushka, will lead the demon world. A world where I rule. I will turn the hatred that plagues the demon world into the wings of flame and rule Estoltia and save the demon world. I am the true great Demon King!
Whoa! Yushka became a dragon in a Dragon Quest game! Just like Estella's dragon form, so Estella Yushka?
There can't be two Demon Kings in this world. I'm sure you'll be happy I agree on that.
I am Yushka the Great, false Demon King. Bow before me in submission.
So after we defeat Dragon Yushka, Narazia is surprised and says his ideals were nothing to him, so he has to perish. He snaps his fingers, putting Dragon Yushka in pain, as Yushka screams that cooperation was the strongest force of all and swore to save the demon world with us. We avoid being grabbed by the hands, but hear a young voice mentioning the Sword of Astron and using it on Yushka to turn him into iron, just like General Zobris back in Necrodia. With great hesitation, we stab Yushka with the Sword of Astron, and Narazia is making fun of us, saying, "Killing your friend is cooperation? Shut your mouth!" As we stab Dragon Yushka, we see a flashback to both when Yushka and Najin were kids, and Yushka is complaining that nobody is listening to him about the Great Demon Age. However, a young Najin says he should stand up for what he believes in and that Yushka should be a king. Young Yushka, inspired from Najin's words, vows to be the Great Demon King, and Najin is inspired to create the Sword of Astron that could save the demon world. Yushka keeps running until he falls down, and then we see Yushka as an adult, saying that he and Najin were supposed to change the demon world together, and content with dying, he could finally rest with Najin. However, the Sword of Astron is pointed at Yushka by Najin, and Najin reminds Yushka that to stop dreaming is the same as dying. Najin says he was in a deep sleep and that his soul is unstable, so this may be the last time they speak. Najin asks Yushka if he's still willing to fight, and Yushka grabs the Sword of Astron. Najin says that Yushka can make it on his own now, and says he can't really help it if he lost his body, and says that Yushka is the light that he lost. Najin walks away as Yushka now grips the Sword of Astron, but Najin turns around in shock at what Yushka just did, which is the blood pact with Najin's spirit, saying that Najin will share his life and spirit with him and will be a second in command until the day that he dies. Najin puts his hand on the sword, and now we're back in the real world. The Sword of Astron flashes on Dragon Yushka's iron body and shatters, bringing Yushka back to normal.
What's going on?
Najin!
It's Super Saiyan Yushka!
My soul is now your sword, here and forever.
Jaganuba, the god of destruction. I've come back from the depths of hell to defeat you.
For the crime of taunting my king and insulting his ideals, answer for it with your own death.
No matter how much you resist, the result will be the same. But the possibility of cooperation makes me want to look into it a bit more. I'll be waiting for you at the true depths of this world, where not even the slightest light can reach.
Thank you, Ryan. After all, you were indispensable to us.
Let's save the world together, my friend. Even if you take me down to those depths, Najin and I will protect you together. Let's go, Great Demon King. We must defeat Jaganuba, the god of destruction.
Now we finally confront Narazia in front of Jaganuba, and he says we may have the potential to be the most powerful in this world, and even though we were born into the world of light, our path has been far from blessed. Hey kiddo, everyone has hardships in life. I mean, I still gotta deal with Twitter and YouTube comments. And Narazia tells us that we're such a swell guy since we saved the world and how demons are even fighting on our side, saying that we're both a mixture of light and dark, a collaboration that will put an end to the War of the Gods. Narazia also says we're the embodiment of an unknown concept, even unknown to the gods, and gives us one last offer to join him and become the true Demon King. No way, man. Even if you offer to localize Dragon Quest X in English, I will not join you. Narazia tries to take us by force as Lutayena protects us, and Yushka is still mad that Narazia twisted the arrogance inside of him and is wondering if he was chosen as the Great Demon King, his beliefs would be warped. After taunting Lutayena, Narazia's eyes go into Jaganoba mode and he goes inside Jaganoba's body. We prepare for battle as Jaganoba wakes up and tells us that darkness can exist without the light. And after we defeat Jaganoba in a pretty tough battle, he comments on how we're both the embodiment of light and dark and wonders if this is truly the power of cooperation that Yushka was talking about. And he throws the usual villain temper tantrum and Lutayena vows to destroy him, and Lutayena shines brightly as Jaganoba tries hard to resist and begins to overpower Lutayena. Jaganoba comments on how light and darkness are always in constant battle, and their fight will never end as much as he tried to destroy Astoltia in hatred and rage.
I am Jaganoba, ultimate internet troll!
Jaganoba also says the stronger the light, the darker the shadow becomes, and wants to swallow up all the light, declaring it his method of cooperation. After absorbing Lutayena's light, he becomes his second form. Just remember, kids, all Dragon Quest final bosses have 2 final forms. And his second form looks like a shriveled up old man. You know, I gotta admit his final form is a bit underwhelming compared to past Dragon Quest bosses, but don't judge a book by its cover. We try to escape from Jaganoba and Lutayena takes her full body and tries to fire an arrow at him to no avail. The shadow behind him gets bigger and his hands restrain Lutayena. He crushes Lutayena and her last words are for us to protect the world as the flower from Yggdrasil finally breaks apart. And Yushka and Najin protect us from Jaganoba's hands and Yushka vows to never give up. Yushka ponders a way to fight Jaganoba as Jaganoba gloats that he's finally found true cooperation. One last remaining petal from Lutayena falls into our hands.
Listen, children of Astoltia. The source of great darkness has awakened, and the world is about to be ruined. There are warriors who are confronting the destruction, who overcame the shackles of their differences, now working together. Children of Astoltia, please lend your power to those who continue to fight and challenge the darkness. Pray, wish, think. You have the power to protect them. The brilliance of the soul that flutters. Listen, Astoltia's children who live in the demon world. There was once a time I separated the demon world as a polluted land to protect the world from evil. Even after all this time, people's hearts were not lost. Your appearances have been changed, but that was a mistake. Children of the demon world, please pray for those who fight the darkness. A power is born there. An unparalleled effect that surpasses even a god. My dear children, it is now time to unite with Astoltia.
Yes, give us your energy, just like the end of Dragon Ball Z. Hashtag localized Dragon Quest X.
Ryan, can you feel the light from everyone in Astoltia? All of the adventures you've experienced, the bonds you've forged with your comrades, hand in hand along your arduous journey, will now dispel the darkness. Demon King Yushka, and the noble soul that resides inside the sword. I entrust you with my power, and with the blade of your creation, you will sweep away the darkness and localize Dragon Quest X.
The Sword of Astron is the sword that will save the world.
With our hopes and our dreams, we will help people play Dragon Quest X.
Enough! This game will never be in English. There are no plans for a worldwide release.
And with the classic Dragon Quest X boss theme playing, we now finally enter the final battle with Jaganova. Now, the final battle with Jaganova is very long, and we see all the friends we made cheer us on as we see these awesome looking cheers as we fight. And this is the most Dragon Ball Z battle in all of Dragon Quest. And after we defeat Jaganova, he's a pretty sore loser as the combined power of everyone in Astoltia and the Demon World proves to be overwhelming to Jaganova as Yushka remarks that everyone has a desire to protect the ones that they care about. As Jaganova tries to attack us again, all of our friends arrive and we raise our hands Dragon Ball Z Genki Dama style, saying this is true cooperation, totally advertising the Mina Dien books. And then our combined power destroys Jaganova for good.
Hirusha? Is that you?
So Lutaena congratulates us on finally vanquishing the source of the Great Darkness and putting an end to a war that lasted since the beginning of time. Without Jaganuba's influence, no more Demon Miasma will be created. Lutaena says she can no longer help us and hopes we can stay strong. We will, Lutaena. We will. And Lucia and Yushka contemplate on how conflict will always exist in all worlds, and Yushka will never forget the day when Astoltia and the Demon World teamed up to defeat the God of Destruction. We have the power to shape the future, and us, the hero, standing between both worlds is proof of that. I'm glad you all voted for me! Lutaena believes in the new future that we will be building, and we all warp back. Lutaena returns to the River of Light and will dispel the residue of darkness. She thanks the children of Astoltia, and we ride on Brutalos and give a thumbs up as Ann Lucia runs to give us a hug. Give me a hug, Ann Lucia! Oh wait, you're hugging my game self. Oh, okay. So word spreads all over the world that we defeated Jaganova and we celebrate back at our castle. Lord Masen lets everyone know that we will be building a bright new future by having Astoltia and the Demon World join hands and our legend will live on forever. Yay! Yushka comes over to talk to us saying that things have been a little boring since we defeated Jaganova, but praises us even though we started off our relationship as Demon Lord and Servant. Yushka's glad that we became the Great Demon King and thanks us for everything. Well, I couldn't have done it without my running mate Yushka. Yushka realizes he can't tie us up in the Demon World and depend on us forever, and says when people from different worlds come together, a world of true cooperation will come. Yushka gives us a thumbs up as he wants to continue being our friend as different rulers from different worlds. Najin's spirit comforts Yushka, saying that Yushka's definitely grown in a short amount of time, but says you'll have trouble supporting him in political affairs since you know he's kind of a spirit now. Yushka is pretty confident that Najin can still help him out as his sword and second in command. Yushka says he plans to take Najin to see the Blue Sea of Astoltia and maybe bring Asval with him as well, so they can have a fun magical road trip. And Sage Marine is happy we've succeeded, and Yushka wishes that Irusha was here to see all of this. Peperogora pounces on Yushka and demands he gets to talk with us, as all of our friends come over and want to also talk with us. Hey guys, I'll take appointments in my office later. And Valeria offers to train me and Lucia to get stronger if we have the time. Well, since you beat us both before, I'm willing to learn Baldista Fu. And both Estella and Sage Lucienda say that the demon miasma still exists, but we'll all work together to stop it. And just like old times, our sibling and Shin'e say that we're so popular with everyone. Hey, I'm kind of the great demon king now, so I got a lot of duties on my plate. So the credits roll, and for the post-credits scene...
When the goddess Luciana became part of the River of Light again, her will was gone, but she left behind one last wish. I've wanted to live here in this world. Her wish took shape, and at that time, everything is like a dream. I can't remember it all well. Is it okay for me to say I'm home now?
Oh my god! Welcome back, Irusha!
I'm back!
And then we have another credit scene for all the voice actors in Irusha's sketchbook. And then after another post-credit scene, we're in Lendor and see all the citizens look up at the sky and we see various floating islands. Fosdale, the Pukulipo hero from version 1, says it's finally happening. Who was the chosen one? Thus finally ending version 5 and giving us the to be continued text for version 6. Oh man, now that version 5 is finally done, wow, what a roller coaster of emotions this one was. I love how this version was more grounded in the demon world, and rather than being all over the place, and you really got attached to all the characters and spent quite a lot of time with them. My favorite character was probably Irusha, as you felt you didn't want bad things to happen to her, and when you find out she was the vessel for the goddess Lutaina, you were so attached to her that you were sad when she disappeared, but I'm glad she came back! And the best part of version 5 was the interactions and dynamics between all the different characters and how they cooperated towards their goals and what they thought was best for the demon world. Just like all the other versions, version 5 had such a memorable and unique cast of characters that you couldn't help love to death and wanted to see them all succeed and achieve their goals. Also, how amazingly gorgeous the entire demon world was, and all of its unique locations were a sight to look at. In all honesty, I have no idea how version 6 is going to top all of this, and it did feel like this could have been the grand finale of Dragon Quest X because of how truly epic it was, especially the final battle with Jaganuba. Had things ended here, I would have been completely satisfied, but I'm glad we're getting a version 6, and I'm sure it will be every bit as epic as all the other versions. If I have to put a ranking on version 5, it's probably my second favorite version next to version 2, which really gave me the feels. I feel that version 5 has as many emotional and epic parts that made me feel motivated as well. Alright everyone, so that ends this episode of Awesome Video Game Memories about Dragon Quest X version 5, and oh man, that was a doozy. And I'll see you all next time for Dragon Quest X version 6.
Enough! Ditch game will never be in English. There are no plans for a worldwide release. Hi, this is Gilbert Gottfried, and enough! This game will never be in English. There are no plans for a worldwide release.
Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and make sure to check out these other videos, and also make sure to follow me on social media and check out the official Battle Geek Plus website. Take care.